All right. All right, so hello, everybody that joined on such short notice. Thank you very much for arriving. We are a couple of minutes away from the first semi-final of the division phase of the Spring NASCAR Cup 2025, and it's a pleasure to be introducing it. Hello. Yeah, a long time no see, long time no play, and hopefully we'll ring in the Spring NASCAR Cup 2025 playoffs, the beginning of them, in style, with what is sure to be one of the more interesting matches, I think, and one of possibly the more evenly matched ones in round play. Today, we have a Division 3 confrontation on our hands between the 10th and 11th place teams in the qualifying phase, or in group play, which are FKX Blue and SNTR, a combination team of clans SNV and TRT, which honestly, throughout the entirety of the group phase, of the group play, they were never further than 2 places away in the rankings, which means that we are probably going to be in for a pretty close match. We are just a couple of minutes away from the match beginning at 8 p.m., which I guess means that it's time to introduce both the competitors and introduce the map pack, because we sure have a lot of ground to cover tonight, and the players will be facing a very diverse set of challenges. Introducing first, I suppose, the 10th placed team in the qualifier, the favorites for tonight, with 1,216 points in total. They are FKX Blue, a team composed of Tsunami, Nino, Skater, Adept, and Pointy, so some veterans in Nino and Adept who have played many SNCs before. Tsunami, who has improved a whole lot over the past couple of years, who is now a star in his own right for this team, combined with a pair of newer players in Skater and Pointy. They actually had a pretty good showing in the qualifying part, especially impressing in rounds in event number 1, where they were 8th placed with 433 points. So FKX Blue, a good mixture of veteran and new players, definitely showcasing the very best that FKX as a team have to offer. Their opponents, on the other hand, are not that far behind them, and they have a few aces up their sleeve. It is Team SNTR, which is composed of Nez, Benete, Rookie, Monster, and Scary Monster. So we've got 2 of them, one slightly more scary than the other. Nez, definitely a player who has had several page 1 finishes over the qualifying events. Ultimately, SNTR had 1,044 points, 170 less in the qualifying phase, but they do have certain star players who are capable of absolutely putting together some powerful performances, and they will need these star players to be fully activated, because FKX Blue have really just a pretty formidable field. I think no matter which combination of 3 players you pick between the 5 that FKX Blue have, you're going to have a good combination, you're going to have a lot of individual player strength, and it's going to be difficult to find really a weak point in them. I think SNTR, if anything, they have the same skill cap, they certainly have the potential in the players. Maybe consistency was their plague. They definitely placed weaker than expected in the endurance event, losing a lot of points compared to the other teams. So that's then, of course, and now is now, and we are entering a completely different phase of play. We are entering a completely different tournament. As you know, the qualifying events were testing the players across a mixture of disciplines. First in rounds, mostly just testing their ability to string together 2 or 3 laps, but just putting it in 8 rounds in a row, securing some good points, testing their ultimate pace in time attack mode, and finally testing their ability to drive for 15 to 18 minutes unbroken in endurance mode. So really a diverse challenge, but now we're returning to the bread and butter of the SNC. We are returning to where it all began, with 3 versus 3 action. The teams obviously are allowed to bring up to 5 players, but only 3 can take part in any given map. And there will be no substitutions in the middle of a map. So whichever 3 players they pick, they have to play the entirety of the map with these players, which means they have to make an educated guess. They have to figure out which player might be most suitable for a given map, because we really have a diverse set of maps ahead of us, and they're going to need to make the right picks to maintain a competitive edge against their rivals. The map pack as well, no shortage of challenges to be discovered for the players. What we're seeing right now is the final stages of the warm-up on what will be the last map of the night, Hell Pouncer by Bling, a map which has had 3 or 4 revisions due to cuts by players, but ultimately a map where you're really tested on some elements which might be non-traditional. This particular final turn requires you to drift and then eventually release into a 180. Lots of, I would say, room for risking. Maybe gaining a lot of ultimate pace, but dooming the round if you get it wrong. The other maps that we will be playing through tonight are... I honestly can't pronounce that. Vamos de Car, I need you to start including pronunciations of the names of your maps with your maps, because I have no idea what the SNC 2025 map names are. So, 9 Valshka by Vamos de Car. Gvalshka. There we go. Gvalcha or whatever. Finally, after that, Night City by Volmara, which is an interesting combination of a relatively low speed map with flat and banked sections, but a very low speed map where really your trajectory through the turns is the main determinant of your time, when there is a perfect line and you really have to follow it as exactly as possible, and deviation from the norm will cost you a lot of time. Followed by Araxis, a map by True, which is actually quite a high speed flat map, where you're really able to risk it, but it has one very interesting segment in the later stages of the map where risking might lead to a crash, so definitely a balancing act. And a map where there is still a lot of skill expression, even though flat maps would normally be considered slightly more simple than other maps in the map pack. I feel like Churro has really made a map suitable for the semifinals, where the players can really show the bulk of their skills. And with the end and the forcing of the next map, the first map, Gvalsha by Vamos de Car, we will be off and the match will begin properly. And we will also see which lineups the teams will select for the first map. The first map by Vamos de Car might be the simplest of them all, in the sense that I truly believe that players competing in the SNC, especially here, Division 3, Division 2, Division 1, there should be no surprises on this map. This is a map that should be well known to the players. This is a map where I really think that with enough practice, these players should be able to consistently, I should say, put out high quality rounds. However, it is a map about striking the perfect balance between safety, I would say, and risking. You can definitely extract a lot of peak pace. The Dedi 1 to Dedi 30 difference is very big on this map. And it's really up to the players to pick how much of that risk they want to send in each individual round. Will they really want to push these corners to the maximum, risk possibly touching the Rammstein, risk possibly auto-drifting? Or will they try to go for a safer approach? I can rejoin to avoid the score display bug. Well, since the players are warming up on this map, we are going to really quickly rejoin the server. I should have added it to favorites, but I digress. Okay, so excellent. Now we see the players on the server and we're going to see the warm-up and narrate this map. So, certain no drift bank sections, followed by a very sharp right into left-hander section, where you have an interesting timing really to follow up, and a lot of speed can be carried through this section or vice versa. A lot of speed can be lost through this particular section of the map heading into the loop, depending on how comfortable the players are, followed by 2 jumps down to ground level. And as the lap begins, we'll see what's up with the map. First of all, sweeping flat right-hander into a banked section to begin. The players will be looking to release their drift, take this flat left-hander safely enough, avoiding the Rammstein on the avoiding the Rammsteins on the sides while safely navigating these corners. And as you can see from Nino here, you are really tempted to take a very sweeping line through these corners. You are tempted to maybe try to take as much speed as possible, because you really will be losing a lot of speed if you don't carry it through this final flat segment. You will be losing a lot of it by the finish line of the lap. It's a balancing act. It really depends. For some of these players, this is their first time playing a SNC semifinal match. This is their first time playing a 3 versus 3 rounds match, where the pressure is just much higher than it was in qualifying. In qualifying itself, the players did have the usage of their full team and only the 3 best scores counted. And obviously this allowed maybe players to make certain mistakes which wouldn't actively harm their teams as much as they normally would have. Now in 3 versus 3, even one mistake by any team member is fatal. Consecutive mistakes by team members are fatal. And the players will have to sort of channel all of the skills that they were tested on. In endurance, they were tested on consistency, and they will have to find the same level of consistency here. They were tested on their ultimate pace and time attack, and they will have to find a way to not crash while still extracting competitive pace, just like it was there. Really, we're looking to blend all of the individual skills that you were forced to show in the qualifying events for a complete match performance. And players which are able to showcase their best selves here, these are really the kind of star players that you venerate in NASCAR, that really make the difference for their teams, that are able to create a lot of individual points for their teams across the match. And it will be interesting to see which of these players can step up. You know, a player like Nino, a player like Tsunami, they've played several SNCs at this point. They've played many more competitive tournaments beyond the SNC itself. They should have plenty of experience on stages like these. They are sort of the stabilizing presence that you look forward to in a team. I don't think that was an official caster curse, but definitely maybe some jitters to be rid of. As the final warm-up comes to an end, and we will be looking at the lineups for each team as the first semi-final of the Spring NASCAR Cup 2025 begins in 10 seconds. FKX Blue versus SNTR, the lineups for the first map: Nino, Skater, and Tsunami versus Scary Monster, Penete, and Nez. Both teams, I would say, with very balanced lineups. Good luck to all the racers, and let the action begin. FKX choosing for a balanced lineup, I would say. Skater, one of the newer players, but paired with some very veteran players in Nino and Tsunami. And Nez and Penete, arguably the 2 most recognizable players that you know from previous tournaments. Competing for Team SNTR, trying to unlock shades of the pace that we saw from them all throughout the qualifying events. We know that they're capable of big things, but now is the time to show that at a consistent level. Everybody is off the starting line quickly enough. It is Skater leading the pack, so the new blood of Team FKX Blue, but oh no, caster curse number 1 of the evening. Skater makes a significant mistakes, and now Nino and Tsunami. We're going to see how the players take this flat section. The amount of speed that you can carry through here carries all over to the end of the lap, and we need to see which players did a better job of it. You can see Nino and Tsunami, they carried over more speed, and they're catching up reliably to Nez, but nothing separating the first 4 players. They are within 3/100ths of a second heading into lap 2. Super competitive initial round. Nino takes the lead, but Nez and Penede not far behind. Skater seems to have made a smaller mistake, while Scary Monster has been eliminated. So advantage FKX Blue, but Nez and Penede can still deny a Tsunami. Now 3/10ths of a second behind. Penede will touch the wall. He might have not even reached the checkpoint. That will be a colossal mistake. FKX Blue, with everything to play for, in the lead of the round. We see Nez competing with Nino. Which one of them will reach the finish line first? Which one of them carried more speed through to the finish line? Nothing separating these two players. This is the first round of your dreams. We are looking to see, can Nino maintain the lead? Ness has a little bit more speed. Oh, and Nino reaches the finish line just in the same 100 of a second. But it is an FKX blue round. Nez matching Nino's time, a very respectable 131.6. But SNTR, with significant mistakes, will give up the first round. And as you can see, Penete, competitive pace, but that was a significant error. And just like that, you know, just getting close to one of these Rammsteins at the edge of the map, very tempting to maintain a lot of speed, because that's how you reliably gain several tenths of a second over the lap. But just one mistake, just one misjudgment, you will lose several seconds. A map about controlled risk first and foremost, with simple elements, but simple elements which combine for a very, very challenging course. And let's see how it goes in round number 2. Nino, oh my lord, that was very risky, and that risk ended up not paying off, as he had to release to avoid a crash, and now he will touch the wall. SNTR, the round in their hands, as both Skater and Nino have made significant mistakes which will set them several seconds behind. SNTR immediately with an opportunity to equalize. And this is where 3 versus 3 match psychology begins to affect the players. You need to communicate amongst each other. You need to realize that the round is in your hands. You need to adjust your trajectories, play more safe than you usually would to maintain a point. As we saw over the years in SNC match play, it is highly important to not let your opponents get free rounds. It is highly important to convert safe rounds, because this is more than anything. This is a match of skill, but this is also a psychological match. If you can get away with these rounds that you are not supposed to win, if you are safely securing these rounds, this really affects your ability to stay in the match. And players need to keep it competitive until the end, because truly, up until the very end, this will be a closely contested match. Nez with a 131.6 followed by a 131.5, unlocking the best consistency out of anyone so far. Tsunami finishes in second, but to no avail. SNTR secures the round and equalize 1-1. And it is, I think, very important for a team like SNTR, who has high potential pace from these players, especially someone like Nez, but that might not have the same depth of the team, the same consistency. They need to keep the points close. If FKX Blue gives them another free round, they need to take it with open arms and not give up any free mistakes. Round number 3 engages on this first map. Gvalcha by Vamos de Car. So far, so good. Nez, the strongest player of the field so far, and he's off to another strong start. Nino falling behind, but still a close, contested round between the players. A very, very pacey opening. Look at this. Nez is only 1800ths of a second behind Deddy 1, as he takes a lot of speed throughout this first segment. And he will be leading into lap 2 with Scary Monster to back him up. Skater and Tsunami, however, providing the counter, but Penete catches up and SNTR should have the round lead. Let's see what happens. Skater and Tsunami, they take it safe. 5 players, very competitive. Nez with an excellent pace up front. Let's, however, see how this battle between Penete and Skater unfolds for second place. It is essential that none of the SNTR members make a significant mistake, because they can still drop the round. Nino still within striking distance of a significant mistake. Scary Monster releasing a lot of speed. We'll zoom into the battle ahead of us. Skater and Tsunami. Penete has given up a lot of speed, which means the Skater and Tsunami will be finishing ahead. It is still a red round by the narrowest of margins. Nez with a 131.1, very well done, and an SNTR round by 1 point. Very, very good round. 4 very consistent performances, and look at this. Nez with a 131.6, 131.5, 131.1. That is 18 points in 3 rounds. Nez with an excellent performance, really solidifying his status as the carry of SNTR, and also Nino, a player who has played a lot of competitive events, only with 17 points in the first 3 rounds. They will be looking to get more consistency out of him to kind of rein in what has been a very solid opening performance from Nez. Let's see, round number 4. That was almost a Deddy 30 time in live rounds from Nez. So very, very well done. Skater, I believe that was Skater, making a significant mistake. We'll see what happens in the rest of the round. 5 players still very competitive within 0.2 of a second. A simpler map allowing for close competition even in Division 3 play. Really, really well done by the driver so far to keep it consistent. Nino taking a lot of speed for the sweeping left. Sweeping right, and now also the left, taking the overall lead. But his team is not there to back him up. And Nez with a huge surge of speed. Nino holds these attackers at bay, but SNTR, like a team possessed, 3 players within 0.2 of a second, navigating these corners safely. Tsunami now with a counterattack, but Nino has to maintain the lead if there is any chance of them winning this round. Tsunami even has to overtake one of them. I don't think it will be possible with the speed he's having. Nez now overtaking Nino up ahead. Nez looking to win a 3rd consecutive round, put on another time. SNTR not letting this one slip. They take 3 on the trot. Nez with another 131.5. His consistency is simply too great for Team FKX Blue to respond. And what a strong performance. I mean, after losing the first round, SNTR take 3 on the trot. And even though FKX Blue beat SNTR in all 3 of the qualifying events, you know, maybe FKX Blue had a lot of depth in their team, but now they have to pick 3 players, and when these 3 players are making significant mistakes, there is nothing to hide behind. Now you have to perform, and now the individual pressure on each player is significantly higher than it was in the qualifying events. And SNTR so far are managing that pressure very, very well. Nez with a good performance, but Penete backing it up very, very well. And Nez, unfortunately, now he will make his first significant mistake. 3 FKX Blue players in the first 3, but none of them are carrying a lot of speed, which will allow Scary Monster and Penete to at least get a foothold in for lap 2. Still, overwhelming advantage FKX Blue, and they really need to convert this round. They need to stop the SNTR advance before it gets going. Tsunami will fail in that task. He will make a significant mistake in a sweeping right-hand turn that did not need that much risk. This is where the communication comes in clutch. You need to realize that 3 of your players are in the top 3, that 1 person made a significant mistake. You need to rein in your pace. You need to finish this round ahead. Scary Monster now pressing the attack. He will not succeed in pressing the attack at all. Penete also with a mistake, so Nino and Skater, they are 3 up ahead. Only 2 players finish this round without mistakes, and that will be enough. A very moderate pace, but safe and sound. They get to the finish line, and they halt SNTR's 3 consecutive rounds. FKX Blue strike back. 131.5s. That's the pace they need to be doing. That's the pace they want to see. And so far, so good. Despite Tsunami's mistake, finishing in 5th, at least some points recovered. Now Tsunami and Nino getting some team points on the board, igniting the level that we know them to be capable of. Definitely the 2 leading players with Skater, the young potential, backing them up, but not maybe expected to have such a carry role. And now 3 players who have put in 131.5s, very, very respectable times for Division 3 especially. So far, so good. Let's keep it up. A close contest on map number 1. That's what we want to see. We want this match to continue on. Nez will touch the outside wall. Outside Rammsteins on this map, so dangerous, so tempting to maintain a bit of extra pace. Scary Monster touching now the inside, but he survives. However, loses a bit of speed, and look at this. Because he just lost a little bit of speed in this segment of the map, he will be losing several tenths of a second compared to the leading players who are slowly but surely breaking ahead, and FKX Blue in another dominant advantage heading into lap 2. Only Penete and Tsunami to hold them back, and it isn't looking good with Scary Monster in 5th place. Now Penete himself being overtaken. Penete with a good amount of team points, but he did not put up a very strong individual time. 131.9, his best. That is weaker than most of the FKX players, weaker than Nez by 0.8 of a second. And FKX Blue, they are marching into the lead. They should be able to secure this round unless they make a significant mistake. Now Penete, that's the problem. This segment of the map, this interesting flat right into left-hander, very, very easy to misjudge your line, be forced to release, and then you're losing several tenths. FKX Blue, they equalize with an ace, and Skater with the fastest round so far. That is a daddy 30 time. The young potential for the team, demolishing everybody with this round and showing that Nez might just not be the fastest player in the field anymore. What a sensational round by Skater. That is daddy 30 pace in Division 3. in Division 3. And ladies and gentlemen, we still have so many matches. Division 1, Division 2 tomorrow. You are not ready for the level of action these players will be showcasing. But now, focus on the action at hand. 3 on 3 to 3 in team points. What a match so far. Look at that. FKX Blue, after getting shaken by Nez's consistency, they strike back, and look at that. 23 team points for Nino. 22 for Tsunami and Skater. What a great team performance. Nez still the most team points out of the field, but Penete and Scary Monster do not have the same consistent level, or at least they haven't shown it yet. Never say never. Players have been known to unlock incredible performances under pressure. Diamonds are forged in these matches. Skater, after an incredible round, makes a significant mistake, but Scary Monster with a mistake, Penete with a mistake, and now Nino and Tsunami still have a chance to take this round because Nez is alone in the front. His team nowhere to be found, and Skater inherits 4th place because his mistake was the least severe, has to not make another one, and Nino and Tsunami need to realize that they are in a winning position in this round. FKX Blue mistakes give them the lead. They will now hit 3 consecutive rounds themselves, but what is this? Did Nino give up a little bit of pace in the front? He did, but it won't amount to much. Nez will win the round in a 1:31.4, a good time, but he is hounded by 3 FKX players, and they will take the lead. After SNTR had a 3-1 lead, it is now FKX Blue who have 3 consecutive rounds. They take a 4-3 lead themselves. Nez trying to motivate this team in the chat. He has the best performance in the field so far with 32 team points, but Penete and Scary Monster only able to contribute 36 together. And it is a very closely fought match, but FKX Blue, after being initially shaken by Nez's pace, they bring in the consistency of Tsunami and Nino with some superb individual flashes of pace by Skater, and they are leading again. They are showcasing the potential and strength of their team. Tsunami, now with a small mistake, will be overtaken by Penete, and Nino has given up a lot of speed. Skater up ahead, but Nez and Scary Monster still make this a competitive round. Nino now, he had to give up a lot of speed, and you can see how that's punishing him. You can see that this part of the map, it is really that flat section that dictates your pace for the entire rest of the lap, and SNTR are now in an excellent position to immediately equalize and stop the streak of 3 consecutive rounds. Skater is on a massive individual pace. He's only 1600th of a second behind Eddie 1, now falling slightly further behind, and Nez not far behind. These players are doing incredible things right now. Skater and Nez, let's look into the duel at the front as SNTR are looking to take this round through Scary Monster and Penete's consistency. Which one of these players will maintain the pace? That is an incredible amount of speed. Oh, Skater even trying a bit of a trick with the nosedive. Not entirely sure if he succeeded. He will have a lot of pace, and that will be another great time. He improves again. Another deady 20 almost time. 130.8. Nez with a 131.08 himself. A red round, but what an incredible performance. Skater and Nez, look at this. Division 3 match. We are talking deady 30 plays from 2 players. Incredible. Incredible stuff. These were the 10th and 11th place teams in qualifying play, and look at the amount of quality they still individually have. Each team in the SNC, each and every single team, capable of some incredible feats. We are going to see just so many more sensational rounds throughout these days of competition. Tune in not only to this, but especially Ramavik tomorrow. Yuki will be streaming his POV. Steaky will be streaming as well. Please do not miss a second of this action. It is sensational. And 6 players again. Very, very closely matched. A simpler map allowing everybody to unlock their very, very best performance. 5 players, very strong. SNTR, however, with the round lead. Nino, that was a dangerous jump, but Scary Monster releases a little bit. Will that be enough to bring them into the round? Is Tsunami in a position to contest? Yes, he is. Penete now providing the competition. SNTR still hold on to the round, but only by 1 point. Penete has to press the attack, and he is indeed putting huge pressure on Tsunami. Nez is far ahead. He would have to make a significant error. SNTR hold on to this round through Nez's heroics. Pineda, however, releasing. Will this end up costing them? I don't think it will. Nino is still far behind and Scary Monster should be able to hold. Very closely contested round, decided by 1 team point. Nez with a 130.93! Another top 30 time! 131.0 into a 139. Nez, what the hell is that? By 1 team point they win, but Nez, oh my god, that was a great round. And 43 team points. He's putting up as many team points as almost his 2 teammates combined. Nez, huge carry performance. We've seen flashes of brilliance from this guy before. He has been known to have great potential, but maybe sometimes it doesn't come true. He's definitely stepped it up on this first map. But he needs to keep it up, because even though he is the strongest individual on the map, FKX are still only within 1 round striking distance. Skater now with a significant mistake. SNTR looking favored. SNTR, if they win this round, they're looking at map point. And look at this. This is exactly the place where you can make a break point. This is like in tennis. This is a break point possible for SNTR. If they can strike now and secure this map with possibly a 7-4 scoreline, that is a very decisive lead to take into map number 2. They're giving themselves so much breathing room and putting so much pressure on FKX, who, you know, they've had the consistency, but other than Skater, Tsunami and Nino have actually not had super quick individual rounds. They've put up decent team points, but they've not been those, like, super stable, consistent players that you might expect them to be. The round continues, but I just don't think that FKX Blue can come back. I really think that it is an SNTR round, and Nez again, blazing pace in front. He might have 3 consecutive rounds at a 131.0 pace. He has absolutely punished FKX Blue. 131.0 again! 3 consecutive rounds, 130.9, 131.0, 131.0. Demolishing the field and putting SNTR on map point. Huge performance, SNTR. Huge performance to begin with. And you know, try as they might, you know, FKX Blue, their players, you know, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th place in team points, but it doesn't matter. Penate and Scary Monster are still sniping essential points from them due to significant mistakes, and that's a thing that they simply cannot allow themselves. This is the pressure of the free... That horn is so loud. This is the pressure of the 3 versus 3 format. If you make a significant mistake, your team is fighting a huge upward battle to actually secure a round point. And even players who may be 6th in team points, like Scary Monster, if they can secure just 1 clutch snipe, just 1 round where they are in 2nd place by punishing errors, they're able to make all the difference. Now it is Nino and Scary Monster who have made mistakes. 4 players still remain without significant errors. Let's see what happens. Very strong lap 1, only 0.3 of a second, but Skater, again, we've seen him make this mistake 3 times, and FKX Blue, they crumble. SNTR, they are going to convert this map point at the first time of asking. FKX Blue trying to risk a little bit. That's exactly the point. After SNTR went on 2 3-round consecutive streaks in this map, and when you're taking these streaks, you are under such pressure to try to claw it back, to try to stem the bleeding. And that's when the mistakes strike you. And that's when you begin losing. It's a spiral. Look at Nez. He has won 4 rounds in a row. Absolutely class of the field. He's going to demolish with a 131.3. SNTR secured a round beyond a shadow of a doubt. And they secure map 1 with a 7-4 scoreline. A big lead to take forward into map number 2, Night City by Valmara. And what a performance, Nez. 55 team points. 130.93. Not the fastest, but had the most very 30 times. Skater with 42, Tsunami with 39, Pineda with 34, Nino underperforming a little bit with 33. And Scary Monster with 28, but they were essential points. He still did very, very well for SNTR when it mattered. A very complete performance from SNTR, which they're going to have to maintain. Second map, Night City by Valmara. If the first map was relatively simple and you had a decision of how much calculated risk to take, and you could definitely make back some lost time by getting the flat section correct. This next map doesn't have anything of the sort. This next map is a low speed map with a very well defined perfect line where you just have to stick to it or you are continuously losing tenths of a second. It will be interesting to see how players in Division 3, listen, we've seen they are capable of great things. They are capable of putting together some amazing performances, but a map like this is really going to test their ability to consistently deliver a perfect line. The Dedi 1 to 30 distribution on this map is half a second. There is one perfect line, you can only get so close to perfection. And it's not a surprise to see a player like Racerlight at the top. One of the paragons of consistency. The guy's a robot. He's going to drive a perfect line on the map 99 out of 100 rounds. And now testing players in Division 3 under match pressure on a map like this, I am so interested to see how these players perform. We will also be very interested to see if any substitutions will take place. Remember, teams can substitute players between maps, so let's see. Maybe FKX Blue feel that a player is not really, performing up to par. Maybe they feel that things aren't going as well as they should be. Maybe they make a tactical substitution and see what's going on. SNTR, will they risk substituting out their strongest player in Neziak? You see that he's saying in chat right now, you will have to carry me, which is really strange, Nez, you just saw what he did on map number 1. If they are not able to count on him, do SNTR have a secondary star who can step up if Nez underperforms? Many, many things still to be answered in this match, which is now heading into map number 2, and SNTR have taken a 7-4 advantage, a big advantage, an advantage that will put a lot of psychological pressure on FKX Blue, especially if SNTR win the first rounds on this map. But it's still everything to play for. FKX Blue can still make a huge comeback. They can still absolutely take this match by the reins. And this map, it suits their strengths. FKX Blue, they have players who are capable of putting together consistent performances. Maybe it hasn't happened on map 1 so far, but this map does suit some of their players very well. And we will see if any substitutions are made. I am really curious because FKX Blue, as we said, they have access to some very, very consistent players. They have Tsunami, they have, Nino and Skater, who we've already seen, but they also have Deft and Pointy. And Pointy, of course, also a new talent, strong player in his own right, Deft, a veteran of several SNCs, again, able to bring a stabilizing presence to the team. SNTR can still take advantage of Rookie, they can take advantage of Monster or Monsterinho, I'm not entirely sure. There are still substitutions that can take place in this match that can definitely provide some surprises for the teams. That can definitely bring, an injection of energy late into the match. So we're going to be very interested in seeing that. In this map, like I said, this is a challenge against perfection. A super low speed map. You're not going to be able to take back lost time. If you miss a corner, you just lost some time compared to perfect, and you're going to have to deal with it. And it is a test of how close to perfection you can remain for the entirety of the map without really deviating from the perfect line. Let's see, map number 2. Did any substitutions take place? Only one, FKX Blue. They have substituted out Skater, who had a very good performance on map 1, I should say, who had the fastest overall round. They will be bringing in their second new talent in Pointy, and we will see if that is the winning formula for a map like this. And let's see. They head into what is a pretty simple 180 turn, but that you need to take with a good enough line to also take the following 180 without touching this inside Rammstein. Pretty simple sweeping left-hander, followed by a looping into a banked 180. The players may opt to take a slightly more inside line. And Nez, that was risky. He took a jump, and like I said, you snooze, you lose. He now makes a significant deviation, which is going to cost him a lot of time, and Nino has been keeping it tidy. It's not super high speed, but it's tidy. The lines are clean. That's what we're looking for on a map like this. Clean and simple lines, able to provide some really good times. Scary Monster now stepping up, and Nino only half a second behind Daddy 1. That's a Daddy 30 time he's going for so far, but SNTR, late round comeback, Nez coming back, Pointy losing a lot of time. SNTR might be able to take an 8th point and their 4th consecutive one, and look at this, 3 SNTR members trail Nino and snipe the point. Look at this. Nino 1:13.18. That is only 1400ths of a second behind Daddy 30. Super clean time. Finally showing what he can do. But it doesn't matter. His team is not there to support him. And SNTR actually showcasing really, really good consistency. They've taken 4 consecutive points. They're now leading 8-4. Even though they were not the favorites coming into this match, they have showcased the exact mentality you need for 3 versus 3. Snipe the points at all costs. Try to take these points and try to put a lot of psychological pressure on the team. Opposing them, and FKX, they are under a huge amount of pressure. Nino and Tsunami, they're not able to provide that consistent pace that was maybe expected of them at the very beginning. Let's see, so far, 6 players, very clean, 6 players within 0.2 of a second. Tsunami now falling slightly further behind, but let's tune into the battle up ahead. Nino and Nez, very close together, and look at this, Penede, he takes a bit of a different line, he takes a bit more speed, and that's a cleaner line that's going to reward him. Rest of the players didn't take as good of a line, and look at this, he makes 4 overtakes in 5 turns, just because he took a very clean line. Pointy giving up a lot of pace. SNTR is going to take a 5 consecutive point. They're going to get up to a 9-4 lead, 2-0 on this map. They take it. They take it convincingly. Nez and Penete within 100 of a second, they are absolutely punishing FKX Blue. And Pointy and Tsunami, it's not looking good for them right now. It's not what we need to see. Pointy and Tsunami held to 3 team points in 2 rounds. That's nowhere near good enough. Look at this, Nino leading with 10, but Nez, Penete, Scary Monster, 9-9-8. They have completely unlocked. SNTR taking advantage of this low-speed map with very well-defined lines. They are utterly punishing FKX Blue. And they're just... FKX Blue, it seems like the players are just... They're not aware of the perfect line. They're not able to keep close to perfection. They're driving super safe, but with no pace in hand. And Nez, Penede, and Scary Monster, they have plenty of pace in hand. This is excellent pace. 4 players within 0.3 of a second, now only 3. But Penede, look at that clean line. Risked it, but succeeded. And now he's able to get a big lead. And look at this, he takes a clean line. He has to release. That wasn't perfect. Nino will regain the lead, but SNTR still hold this round in their hands. They are looking to get so many consecutive rounds. FKX Blue are in massive trouble. They're going to be out of this match before they know it if they keep losing so often. Penete and Nez hounding Nino to the finish line. Nino's going to win another round, but it doesn't matter. SNTR. I believe that's a 5th consecutive round, and they're 10-4 in the lead. This is catastrophic for FKX Blue. Tsunami 10 seconds behind the pace, Pointy 3 seconds behind the pace. This is a disaster. 4 players above 10 team points, Pointy and Tsunami 4 and 5. My god. They only made 1 substitution, but it wasn't the correct one. Pointy not managing to put together a good round. And look at this. 3 players that put up 113.2, 113.18. There's nothing to separate the players on this map. This is a test of perfection. And players have shown in Division 3 that they're actually capable of living up to that. And look at this. What is going on? Where is FKX Blue? Pointy and Tsunami again falling behind from the start. They're nowhere. Penete, Nez, Scary Monster. A punishing performance. FKX Blue, they had a 170 point lead in qualifying, but there's nothing between them right now. They are being utterly demolished in 3 versus 3. I never thought I'd see the day. However, Nino making a comeback and Pointy making a comeback. He is in prime position. It doesn't matter what Pointy was up to if he manages to secure the points, but he doesn't. That's a loop bug, that's a wall touch. I don't know what it is, and it doesn't matter what it is. SNTR, 4th consecutive round on this map, 7th consecutive round overall. Nez is again putting together blistering, demolishing pace. They have no answer. Pointy and Tsunami, again, 5th and 6th in team points, 5th and 6th in a round. They are nowhere, and FKX Blue is being obliterated. In 3 versus 3 format, it's not enough to have one strong player. Nino still holds on to the lead in team points, but he has no help. He has no help. He has more points than his 2 teammates combined, and then some. Oh no. And now, when you're losing this hard, SNTR, they now have such a big advantage. Even if something happens to them on the following maps, they've built up such a strong lead. It's going to be so difficult for FKX Blue to return to this match mentally, especially when you get into a rut like this, when you get 5 team points in 4 rounds. I mean, it feels like nothing can go right for you, and then how can you keep it together? How can you keep it together for the following rounds? Again, Nino, he has a wrong line, he makes a jump, he's going to lose several tenths of a second. And Scary Monster and Nez, oh, Caster Curse. Caster Curse now brings FKX Blue into a competitive position. They have to convert this point. They have to convert this point. There is no way out if they don't manage to do it. Pointy and Tsunami are in an excellent position. It's not great pace, but they did what they had to. They're holding the line. They have to hold the line for a couple more corners. Come on, FKX Blue. They still have some fight left in them if they take this round. Will they do it? I believe they will. Nez reaches the finish line in first, but FKX Blue avert disaster. They take advantage of mistakes and they get on the board on this map. They get on the board in this map, but it's not looking good. Overall score between the teams now 11-5. 11-5 for SNTR. FKX Blue are in dire straits. At one point, FKX Blue were leading 4-3, and after that, it has been all SNTR all the way. A complete demolition has taken place, especially on map number 2, where SNTR went on a 7-round streak with 4 rounds consecutively on this map before giving up their first. And look at this, Pointy and Nino, beginning of the round, nowhere to be seen. SNTR are marching in formation towards a lead. And now Tsunami, the player with the least team points, is the only one offering resistance. Nino and Pointy have to catch up, or there will be nothing to play for. SNTR hugely headed into lap number 1. This is a map about maintaining your pace, not creating it. When you lose it at the start, you will not be able to get it back. SNTR with a decisive advantage. Tsunami trying to take a wide line, trying to do every trick in the book to gain a position, and now look at this. Pineda with a small release. Niner tried to take advantage, but no. The risk, he had to risk it. He was under so much pressure, but the risk ends up backfiring, and that's precisely the problem when you're this far down on points. You have to take these risks, and these risks end up biting you, and SNTR will immediately deny them all hope. Nez, 113-0. That is 0.05 of a second away from Daddy 30. And Nez, who led map number 1, is about to take the team point lead on map number 2. He has been a massive carry for SNTR, but unlike the first map where FKX still had competitive players, this time Penete and Scary Monster are providing huge backup, while Tsunami and Pointy are not able to do the same for Nino. A decisive, commanding performance from SNTR on this map. Current score 12-5. Already one full map the advantage between these two teams. And FKX Blue, they have to strike back immediately if they want any competitive chance. A mistake from an SNTR player that was Scary Monster. They have to take advantage. But are they able to? Tsunami is already 1 second behind. And look at this. Even though Scary Monster made a full mistake, Tsunami is 1 second behind. And even one small mistake will immediately put him back in the jaws of the Scary Monster. Nino with a mistake. Nez with a mistake. Pointy is going to inherit the lead of the round. Penete now catching up. Whose round is this? SNTR maintained the advantage by the narrowest of margins because of Nino's mistake at the beginning of lap 2. And FKX Blue, despite the mistake by an SNTR player, they're looking like they're not able to convert. Pointy has to somehow snipe Nez. The person with the least team points has to snipe the person with the most team points. Does he have it in him? Can he make the heroics happen? What his team needs? But Tsunami's getting overtaken. It doesn't matter in the end. Pointy tries his damnedest. It was a good effort. But at FKX, they lose another, an SNTR or map point. Tsunami with another last place finish. It is weakness after weakness, disaster after disaster, and FKX Blue are blown out on map number 2. You would have thought that the test of perfection would have favored a team that showed a lot of consistency in the qualifying events. In the qualifying events, FKX Blue finished above SNTR in every single one of them. In rounds, they were better. In time attack, they were better. In endurance, they were better. And it wasn't by little either. But now, 3 versus 3, without the backup of a Deft, without the backup of a full 5-man FKX Blue rotation, they are being exposed. And SNTR, Nez and Penete combining for a devastating 1-2 punch, and Scary Monster providing excellent backup. They showed a level that they haven't been able to show in the entirety of qualifying. They've unlocked a new level, and they have a map point to put themselves in such a massive advantage that all but assures that they will be converting the match. Can they do it? It looks like they can. So far, looking like a clean conversion. Pointy has no pace. Nido again, the strongest FKX Blue member on this map, the only one defending himself. Defend himself all he might. He cannot stop the red onslaught. SNTR. 7-4 map 1, 7-1 map 2, 14-5 the overall score. A demolition. And a devastating advantage. And FKX, they are in a bad way. They are headed now into the third map, and the only way they can still win is if they immediately break the streak and start winning. They have to win the 2 remaining maps. Even 1 map win for SNTR seals the match. They have a 9-point advantage. They have such a mental advantage as well. They were maybe afraid of FKX Blue. Maybe they were afraid that they got beaten in the qualifying events. Well, their fears have been dispelled. They are motivated. They are encouraged. They have everything they need to convert this match. And headed into map number 3, Araxis by Truo. That's a flat map. I've seen Nez do miracles on flat maps. I've seen Penete do great on flat maps. They have a great chance to convert this match. They have to keep it together though. Let's go to the third map, Araxis by Truo. It wouldn't be a Truo map if it didn't have a catch. And it does have a catch, and that catch, if we look at... I can't look at Cam 7 actually, but we will see it as we drive through the lap. We will go on board with Pointy. So, Araxis by Truo, definitely a traditional flat map for most of it. Wide, sweeping corners, very high speed map to contrast with Varmara's low speed map. You are really able to push yourselves, even touch these outside Rammsteins sometimes, in a way that isn't risky. But here is the trick. This right into left-hander on custom blocks where you really have to resist the temptation to take a too wide line, a too sweeping line, because you will touch the outside. It is actually a surprisingly narrow transition, which players have to navigate with a lot of precision. The rest of the map, they're allowed to risk. They're allowed to take wide, sweeping turns. They're allowed to utilize a lot of speed. But then they have to rein it in for the end of the lap, or they will not be finishing the round safe. Additionally, in the final corner, if they're carrying a lot of speed after that, they can auto-drift. So definitely, high-speed flat map, lots of room for individual carry performances. This needs to be highlighted. An FKX Blue player, we've seen Skater, huge pace on map 1. He was substituted for map 2. They got blown out of the water. Maybe it's time to sub him out. Sub him back in, I should say. Maybe that's the answer. Maybe some of the players we haven't seen yet, like Deft, maybe they are the answer. Well, does seem like the players are they're taking a bit of an impromptu break. There isn't one, but they're taking a bit of a strategic break. Maybe FKX Blue trying to recover a bit of their mental, and SNTR deciding how they're going to deciding how they're going to continue. So let's see. Round number 2. Let's explore the map one more time. As I've mentioned before, super high speed sweeping flat turns. If you've ever played a 60k flat map, this is familiar to you. People have hunted this stuff for years. They know exactly what awaits them. And these outside Rammsteins, unlike map number 1, when they were super risky, when you didn't really have a chance to take them because you would have ended up in a wall, there is an opportunity to take some outside Rammsteins on this map specifically. Will the players trust themselves to do it? Will FKX Blue try to take out all the stops in an effort to crawl it back? Will they maybe try to drive safe and hope that SNTR get overconfident? I have no idea. FKX Blue are facing a 9-point deficit. A 9-point deficit. And to come back from such a devastating lead, they're going to really have to find something in them that they haven't showcased almost all throughout the tournament, right? In the qualifying events, you can have an off map. You can have an off day even. And it'll be fine because it's summed up across 3 events. It's summed up across 4 maps, across 5 players. There's nothing to run away from here. Each player has to put in a huge individual performance. Has there been a substitution? There hasn't. We are going with the same lineups we had on map number 2. Nino, Pointy, and Tsunami. Scary Monster, Penete, and Nez. They will face Araxis by Truorex. SNTR with a 14-5 advantage. They're looking all but set to secure this, and this map suits them well. FKX Blue, the ones that have to find an answer to an impossible puzzle. This match is weighing heavily on them psychologically. Tsunami, a player who has been proven to have great performances, a lot of individual skill. He hasn't activated tonight. He needs to find something new today. Pointy, he's been substituted in for map 2, but it hasn't worked out for him. He needs to unlock a different level of performance. Let's see them navigate this sharp right into left. Most players get through it safely. I don't think I've seen any significant errors. Nez leading into lap number 2, even taking a bit of that outside Rammstein, as we say. Really a high-speed map. Lots of room to catch up. This isn't like the last map where a mistake sets you behind in an irrecoverable way. You can absolutely make comebacks by risking hard enough on this map. Will the players succeed in doing it? That is the question. Penete now touching the wall. Tsunami and Nino in an excellent position to possibly punish. Scary Monster and Penete making mistakes. Pointy, credit to him, taking that 4th place, holding it together, securing crucial points for his team. He's doing just enough. Nez reaches the finish line, but FKX take the first of many, many points that need to happen for a comeback to occur. My god, if the players are feeling bad after 40 minutes, hell, even your caster needs to hydrate after 40 minutes. Thankfully, I can do that without interrupting the action. FKX Blue with a huge first point, but it has to be the first of many. The first of many, many points on a very difficult road. They're still 8 points behind. They have to win this map, and they have to win it decisively. Also, they can just have a fair chance at fighting them on map number 4, which is by no means an easy map. Probably the hardest map of the evening. Nez now making a mistake. And that's the carry of Team SNTR. And if I'm Team FKX Blue right now, Penete with a significant mistake. They have 9 points, but so far the comeback is en route. It might even be an ace for Team FKX. This is where you have to calm down. You have to communicate. You see that 3 of your players are in the top 3. This is where you stop risking. This is where you concentrate on securing your position and not allowing any late comebacks. Because it just doesn't matter. Your mental might have been damaged when you got blown out on map number 2. But it's not lost yet. Greater comebacks have happened in SNC history than 8 team points. And look at this. Pointy, the player who did not maybe help out his team as much as he could have on map number 2. Now he has 2nd place. And though his pace isn't great, he's securing massive team points. FKX get the 2nd ace of the evening, and they get the 2nd consecutive point. But they have to keep it going. They do not have the opportunity to play an even map. They are still massively far behind. It is now 14-7 for SNTR. So SNTR, still, dominant advantage, a map which suits them well. Even if they just barely win this map, they have secured a match effectively. If SNTR win this map, they win the match. Let's not forget that. SNTR, after being 3-4 down on the first map, they went on a several round streak. They went up 11-5. They went up 14-5. Demolition occurred on map number 2. They raced to an unstoppable advantage. But it's not over yet. They're not technically eliminated. And FKX Blue, say what you will about their underperformance tonight, they had a decisive advantage in the qualifying events. And now Scary Monster with another mistake. Araxis, listen, it's a high-speed flat map for 90% of it, but if you can't deal with the 10%, that trick segment that Truo placed there, you are gonna lose your team the round. And suddenly, Scary Monster, you know, he was a great backup on map number 1, map number 2. Now these things will cost the team. And FKX Blue, they are looking good. Pointy, great consistency. After barely being able to finish outside of 5th place, now he's securing good points. He's going to make a mistake at the end, but it doesn't matter. He's still going to finish maybe in 5th place. He's still going to deny an extra point. And it will still be a blue round. It will still be a blue round as Scary Monster actually cannot finish it. Devastating result. And though Nez, that was a dead 30 time from Nez. I will say that. Nez again showing great pace. He's again leading map number 3. Sure. But his mistake also cost his team a round previously. And while he's been leading, in order for SNTR really to get these big wins, they got the big wins when Penate and Scary Monster were activated, when they acted as a team, when they had the full team consistency. If that consistency comes into doubt now, there is still an opportunity for them to lose. 14-8 the overall score. SNTR, massive advantage still, but they've lost 3 in a row. FKX, they seem to have shades of pace again. SNTR, however, they lead the round now. Nez with the fastest pace, excellent pace, only 0.4 of a second from anyone. And look at this, Penade is showcasing. This is not like the last map. Last map, you make a mistake, you're falling several tenths behind. You can risk here, and that risk gives you measurable gains in pace. Pace is essential. Penade loses a lot of pace because he misjudged that corner, but Nino is in 6th place. That's the crucial thing. Pointy and Tsunami, they're doing well for themselves. Look at Penade. Outside Ramstein risk to try to secure it. Pointy will make a mistake, and I think SNTR have inherited a round lead for this. Nino, 2 seconds behind. That's unfortunately all it takes. Nez with another Daddy 30 performance, 2 consecutive. Showcasing that carry performance, he will in fact secure a stabilizing round for SNTR. 15-8 the scoreline. FKX, they need to not let this round affect them at all. They need to not worry about Nez's pace. FKX have the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th player in team points. Nez does not have the sufficient backup from his team yet. They need to look at the scoreboard. They need to gain confidence in themselves that as a team, they have the consistency it takes to win rounds. They need to convert them though. Because of their mistakes on map number 1, because of their mistakes on map number 2, easy rounds that they might have given up, that they really could have won if they had more consistency, they now face themselves in a do or die situation. And it's now up to them. Will they crash and burn under the pressure, or will diamonds be forged in the rough? So far, it's looking like crashing and burning. Pointy makes a significant mistake, and now Scary Monster and Penade are holding crucial positions, and critically, nobody on FKX Blue can match Nez's pace. He is leading a 3rd consecutive round. Nino now has to control a drift. He's in the round, but he's nowhere near. And FKX Blue, hope begins to fade. They are running out of options. They are running out of chances. They are running out of rounds at this point. And Nino, look at this. Risk can take you far on this map, but it's already done. And Nez, 1:15.05. He is continually being faster and faster, and Daddy 20 time, almost a personal best. He's taking it by the reins. And he said 3 rounds for FKX on my watch, no chance. FKX, I will remind you, FKX have 8 rounds in total. Sorry, FKX do have... I am just... sorry, I lost track for a while. The score now, 16 to 7. I should say 16 to 7, 16 to 8. You know what? I can't count. That's how dizzy I am. And if I'm dizzy watching this, how dizzy do you think the players are playing this? Definitely no room for error. Everything on the line, and FKX, they are running out of rounds to lose. They're running out of road to travel. You are correct, Horizon. 16 to 8, the overall score now. And FKX must immediately regain a point. Immediately is an understatement. They have to do it, and it looks like there's a chance. Penete with the slide. Nez is in the lead, but this time FKX have enough team consistency to possibly take it. Scary Monster with a risk, Nez with a crash, but Tsunami and Pointy have both made mistakes. This round will come down to the wire. Penete with a huge mistake. Scary Monster taking the lead. What has happened in the last 6 corners? Everybody and their mother making mistakes. And in the end, even though Pointy reaches the finish line last, Nino and Tsunami take the round, handed to them on a silver platter. A critical round, a round which they could not afford to lose. 16 to 9, they have to finish this map 7 to 2. FKX Blue, again with a map lead. They have to convert. And this is the FKX Blue that we want to see before. Look at this, Tsunami, 29 team points. Nino with 25 team points. Pointy might not have many with only 13, but he's as good as Penete and Scary Monster are right now. And in the initial rounds, his consistency was imperative. Unfortunately, Caster Curses are stronger than imperatives, and he will crash, and Nino makes a significant mistake, and SNTR have a round handed to them on a silver platter. FKX Blue buckling under the pressure of the monumental comeback ahead of them. It's not looking good for them, and now Penete and Nez. A deadly 1-2 punch. Penete not perhaps as consistent on this map as he was on the previous one, but still a very accomplished player in his own right. A veteran of the scene who has played countless tournaments. And he has been very, very strong for SNTR so far, starring in all 3 maps and putting up respectable performances in all 3. This is looking like SNTR are gonna notch their first taste of the evening. But what is this? Nez has made a mistake. He touches... What is this? Can Pointy possibly make a comeback? I think Penete and Scary Monster will still secure it, but Nez, that was a huge uncalled, unforced error. Thankfully, it will not cost him this time, as Penete and Scary Monster are there to take it back, and Nino, even more significant error, a 129 is just nowhere near good enough. It's not acceptable. The veteran player, unfortunately, not doing it, and there's even trash talk in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. The match is getting dirty at this point. Players even exchanging words as the pressure begins to mount. SNC competition. The highest pressure, highest prestige team competition we have in Nascar. Tensions will flare and players will be tested to the absolute peak of their abilities, and so far SNTR have shown that that peak is very, very strong. A good performance which might just take them to the finals of Division 3, but I might have spoken too soon. Tsunami now takes the lead, Nino now takes the lead. It's time for Nino to put a performance down, to shut up Nez with more than just words. It's time for them to take a comeback round. They have to. They have no choice. Nino and Tsunami versus the world. Pointy, nowhere to be found. They have to maintain the first 2 positions if they want to secure this round. Nino, holy shit, he's risking everything. He almost flew on that Rammstein. Nez is on the attack. Can FKX hold it off? The defense at Helm's Deep. 2 players, Nez approaching, blood in the water, but Penete makes a significant mistake. Can Nez somehow hope to deny in the dying moments? He cannot. Tsunami and Nino, 1-2 punch within 100 of a second. Incredible, and exactly what they needed. An essential round for FKX. Tsunami now taking the lead in team points. He had a bad map too. He's having a great map 3. Never count this man out. For years now, steadily improving, steadily showcasing that he's a player worth watching, and now blossoming in the Spring NASCAR Cup Division 3 semifinals at a dire time for his team, when they need him the most, stepping up so far. But will it be enough? 17-9, the overall score. Still, SNTR, if they just win this map, they've won the match. They can seal it mathematically on this one. FKX have to win the map to keep their hopes alive, and even then they have to keep winning. An impossible defense. But can they hope against all odds? With Nez performing like this, it is looking dire. Nino will slide, and Penete is here to back it up. I should say it is 17-9 the overall score, not 17-10. But we still have a round to follow, and unfortunately it does seem like it's going to be 18-10 unless anything changes. Is it? It was 7-1 on the second map, was it not? 7-4, 7-1. Ah, then makes it 17-10. You know what? I'm not even gonna say anything. 115.3 for Nez, another top 30 performance. Christ on a bike, I am just completely out of it. My sincerest apologies for not doing justice to the action in front of us. 5-4, FKX hang on to the map lead, but their hopes in this match are slipping away. 18-10 the overall score. If they lose just 1 or 2 more rounds, this will be at an end. This is do or die for FKX on Araxis by Truo. A map which absolutely, as we can see, favors players like Nez. He's been able to unlock crazy pace, but despite that, whenever his team was not there to back him up, FKX have been able to strike, and FKX are going to be hoping for that as well, because they've not been able to match his pace. And so far, now Penede leading. He's looking to bury them. He's looking to put the hatchet down and end FKX Blue's hopes. But Tsunami, first in team points, risking so much. Nino risking so much. Penede will slide out. Nez is now fighting alone, pointing with an essential 4th place. Essential for the player lowest on team points, but he's stepping up when it matters. Nez is in 1st place, but it won't help him much. FKX Blue, they have to take the round. They have to save it. They have to be consistent. Nino will not allow himself to make a mistake, and will it be enough? Nez in the finish line first. Who reaches it first? Pointy. Critical defense. Critical defense, and their hopes in the match stay alive. 18-11 and map point. FKX Blue. A map point that they must convert at the first time of asking. Tsunami 49 team points, even beating Nez despite having an 0.8 of a second slower personal best on this map. A great performance by him, stepping up in the darkest moments. Map point for FKX. They must convert to keep their hopes alive. They must convert. Nothing else will do, or this will be over. Nez with a huge mistake. The chance opens up. The light at the end of the tunnel grows brighter, but somebody from FKX has to be in a position to punish. Are they? Are they in a position to punish? Only pointy is Tsunami nowhere to be found. What the hell did I do now? Where's the camera not coming back? Hello? For fuck's sake. Anyway, we can follow the action from the telestrator right now, where Pointy and Tsunami are falling behind. SNTR, unfortunately, not able to hold on. Penede, Scary Monster, and Nez striking as a unified team, burying FKX Blue, not allowing them anything. Nino, he tried against all hope, but Pointy and Tsunami are not there, and the map point will be denied. Possibly even the match secured. Please tell me I'm gonna get my camera back. Second map point? Really? You know what? We're gonna keep this camera for now because I don't know what happened. I hope it resets on the next map. Second map, point for FKX Blue. The score overall, 19-2. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm probably gonna be wrong. It is now 19-11. I believe that it is mathematically over unless FKX win this round. Numlock. I don't even have an unlock on my keyboard. I have a 60% keyboard. That is, unfortunately, the problem. Yeah, I can switch between the players. It's not doing anything. Doesn't matter. We are going to spectate like this. This is the decisive round. If SNTR win this round, it is over for FKX Blue. 9-0 gone. Nez in the lead, Scary Monster second, Penede third. The hope begins to dim. Finally, thanks. Oh, but at the moment I swap. Okay, replay camera. Now can we switch to cam 1? I guess we can switch to cam 1. We're gonna hold it like this. Okay, let's see. Nez, Penede, Scary Monster. Is this how it ends? Surely not, but it does look like all hope begins to dim. And it does seem like SNTR, with an ace, they bury FKX Blue, they deny their second map point, and I believe that they have now secured the match. A devastating performance, capstoned by an ace, to showcase what has been just an incredible performance from SNTR, who they were not the favorites in this match, but they are certainly the deserved winners, putting up a huge performance when it mattered most. And absolutely fearsome on map number 2, with a 7-1 performance that all but eliminated FKX Blue's hopes. And at one point, FKX Blue led this match 4-3. It seemed that it was going to be a close match, but on map number 2, SNV broke into the lead. Penete, Nez, and Scary Monster with a consistency level that nobody was able to match. Nez with a level of individual pace that no FKX Blue player was able to match. And he decides that now is the time to stop being consistent, flies away. FKX Blue can secure the rounds, but unfortunately I believe that they have been mathematically eliminated. One more round though, and a chance for them to at least take a map win for their own personal pride, to showcase that they still do have something to show ahead of their following match. As a reminder, no team is eliminated in the semifinal of the SNC, I believe. There is a third place match in each division. I believe so anyway. Penede and Scary Monster unfortunately deny them even the possibility of a map win. Penede with a personal best as well. 7-6, and SNTR, your winners in this match. We will still, however, obviously play the final map to see what to expect in the following matches. We are going to analyze what's waiting for these teams. As FKX, that was 6 points on this map. That should be 11. So, final map, and unfortunately a map where the match is already over, because I feel like the fourth map would have been the most interesting of the map pack in terms of its possibilities in a competitive match. Hell Pouncer by Bling, a map which had 4 revisions due to various cuts, but a map which is, I think, the most challenging out of the map pack to drive at a consistent level for all of the players. And across the first 3 maps, I believe we really saw from the Division 3 players actually a very high level of consistency on most maps, but also a very high level of peak pace. When Nez and Skater were doing their best times on map number 1, those were Daddy 30 times. On the flat map, we saw multiple Daddy 30 and better times. On the second map, we saw Daddy 30 and better times. We really saw these players in Division 3 semifinals showcase an excellent level of potential. Just because they're playing in Division 3 does not mean that we are looking at low-quality Nascar. Quite the contrary. Almost every player tonight had a chance to shine, but when it came to it, SNTR won almost every decisive round, I should say, and there was simply no answer to Nez's carry performance, who did manage to show his most consistent side and was not stopped by mistakes. I need to quit this and fix this because this is unwatchable. We are going to take a look at the final map because we will be seeing much of it in the final matches. And also because it is the most challenging map in the pack and one which is also, in my opinion, the most interesting to take a look at overall. So, if we could... I mean, what's up with the camera? Seriously. I can't get it back into cam 1 no matter how hard I try. Whenever I put it on follow, it goes cam 7. Okay, we'll fix that after... We'll fix that in the second warm-up. We're just gonna end the round if it's necessary. Yeah, I put myself into play, so I'll play in the second warm-up. And then we're going to analyze this map a little bit. See what challenges await the players on this last map, and... Okay, so... Okay, and if I go back now and put it in F5, it works. Very nice. So, map number 4. Let's take a look and let's analyze this map and let's try to figure out what the players can do here. This 180, if you risk it for a lot of speed, you can either catch the outside wall or you can catch a mistake on the dirt. Need to air brake, stabilize yourself ahead of this set of pretty simple right-handers, followed by, arguably, one of the more difficult corners of the map. Taking this with a drift will require you to slightly delay your brake. You cannot take this full speed unless you have more speed than Racerlight, quite frankly. And followed by that, players take a banked 180 into this 180, where you might want to drift, which is, again, rather unusual for maybe a NASCAR map, and you were maybe looking to break that drift also at an essential time to preserve the biggest amount of speed possible for lap number 2. So, looking once again at Panete tackling this jumping right-hander, which I think is going to be the most interesting one, the corner coming up right now. Maybe players will opt to no drift it, maybe players will opt to drift it. It decides your speed for the entire final half of the lap. And I think players will certainly be looking to carry over a lot of speed before this final drift 180, in which they'll have to hopefully not make any mistake in the finish and carry over lots of speed into lap 2. So, map number 4, we'll see if there are any substitutions. Remember, it might be over. SNTR might have won the match, but let's see if FKX can win a map. They came very close on map number 1, especially on map number 3, where they had 3 map points, but unfortunately failed to convert them. Any substitutions? Not for SNTR. They stick with their winning lineup of Scary Monster, Panete, and Nez. We did not see Rookie and Monsterino, I should say, play for SNTR today. 9-0 Pointy and Skater replacing Tsunami. We did not see a Deft play today. Which is a shame because I believe that he might have been the answer, but FKX Blue made do with what they had, and they still put up a very respectable performance, but at the end of the day, Nez's pace was too much. It might not be too much on this map. Let's see what they have to offer. Navigating this, you already see big gaps opening between the players. Depending on your confidence in navigating that banked right-hander, a lot of speed can open up. We see here a break of the drift, Scary Monster, Panete and Nez super consistent, but Skater carrying a lot of speed into lap number 2. Skater very optimistic, looking to take some confidence away from them. Taking a lot of speed here, you see that Panete had to release to make that corner properly. Lots of opportunities to risk to improve your place on this one. Pointy and 9-0 slightly further behind, as it looks like SNTR are not going to give up just because they won the match. Panete, no drifting and going for the inside ram. Super risky, but if you don't have a lot of speed into that, you might try to take that in a safe way. Will it be an ace? Will Panete overtake Skater? No, Skater's wide line will keep him safe through, but Scary Monster and Nez. Big round, and SNTR. They might have won the match, but they are looking to make it 4-0 in maps, as they are taking another one and further increasing their lead. 22-11 now the score. What looked like a super my god, Scary Monster is noob filtered. An unexpected mistake late on, especially from the man who won the previous round, but that's SNC play for you. And especially on this map, lots of risks to be taken, sometimes even in the beginning 3 seconds. Nino and Skater now in the lead with Pointy providing backup, so FKX have an opportunity to strike back. They safely navigate the banked right-hander, moving into this 180. Nez also with a mistake, meaning FKX Blue have a great chance. They have a great chance to take back a round, preserve their fighting spirit, which they will need, because as a reminder, this is not the end for either of these teams. SNTR will play in the Division 3 final, and FKX Blue will play in the Division 3 small final. Nino retires? What in God's name happened there? Just went straight forward into the wall and retires from the round. And FKX Blue will not be taking this one anymore. Pointy overtaken by Nez and Penete contesting Skater. Unless something critical happens in the end, then FKX Blue get a 1-2. SNTR will take this round back from them. Pointy unable to protect it, and unfortunately the landing costs Nino, forces him to delete, and SNTR 23-11, 2-0 on this map. As a reminder, of course, there are still 2 more teams that we are yet to see play in Division 3, which we will see in the second semi-final of Division 3, which are XOXO and Gigafruit, I believe. No, wait, I'm not reading this right. That's BG and Gigafruit. I was reading the wrong standings. So those are the teams that we will see. Nino, another mistake, drifting out at the very beginning. Not looking like it was his day, an unfortunate day for such a storied and skilled player, but you can't win them all, and he will obviously be looking to help his team out with a better performance in the small final of Division 3 against the loser of the match between BG and Gigafruits. Moving forward, however, with this round, we see that this map is posing a bit of a challenge to the players. I would say the most challenging map overall in the map pack in terms of consistent driving, because I believe that we saw actually a very good level of consistency on the first 3 maps from the teams. Slightly reduced now, possibly because the match is over, possibly because of the map, but nonetheless, Nez and Scary Monster showcasing actually very, very solid top pace on this map. Skater looking to be solid competition. I believe Skater did very well for his team on map number 1. He put up the pace to match Nez on that map, but unfortunately it was not enough to help his team. Still a very bright future for this new player to the SNC. Third consecutive round, sadly for SNTR. FKX are not going to be improving their scoreline substantially. Couple more rounds split us from the ending of the match. After the match, of course, we will be going into the SNC waiting room. I don't get to use the interview room, but I will at least be waiting in the waiting room if any of the players are happy to share their feelings on the match. And if not, we will just cap off what has been a wonderful evening of NASCAR action with some very high-level action. It needs to be said, these are the 10th and 11th place teams in the qualifying events, and they still showcased very 30 times an admirable level of performance, an admirable level of consistency. And some incredibly close rounds were contested between them, especially early on in the match. Credit where it's due, an entertaining and excellent night of NASCAR. Nino can't catch a break on this map, a difficult map which is taking its toll on him. And SNTR in the lead, lap number 2. Nez on a very fast one, so we're going to be taking a look at him. Takes a bit of an imbalanced bounce here, but he will be safely navigating this. Very close to the top 1 time, only 32 hundredths of a second. This is looking like an easy Daddy 15-20 time if he can maintain this pace. Navigates the banked right-hander expertly with lots of speed. A map that he's very practiced on. The MVP of the evening, whose carry performances have definitely been essential for his team. He will finish with a 1:16.20, another top 30 Daddy time, another map in which he's first in team points. Nez definitely dispelling a lot of doubts that people had about his ability to consistently perform, with a great performance that sees his team through to the Division 3 final, and looking very, very good on the final map as well. They will certainly need him to repeat the same performance if they want their chance to win Division 3, I believe they have shown that they are a strong team when all of their team members are collaborating. But maybe when Pinete and Scary Monster are having a weaker day, perhaps some rounds can be gained by the opposing team. Definitely a top-heavy team, but one that should never be underestimated. Pinete and Ness, two players with high potentials indeed. And FKX Blue, not to be discouraged by the scoreline, it ended up going the way that it did, but Nino, Tsunami, never to be underestimated. Pointy, maybe not the greatest pace, but he has a new map pack, a new chance to prove himself. And Skater, in my opinion, mostly a bright hope for them throughout the evening, with some excellent individual performances, especially on map number 1. FKX Blue are still a great team. They showcased it more in the qualifying events, and hopefully in the small final of Division 3, we'll get a bit more of that showing out of them. Unfortunately, in this particular map, it is round number 5 on the trot, but Pointy, credit to his name, looking to win his first round of the evening, holding back Pineda and Scary Monster. Unfortunately, a touch denying him his laurels. Still a player who can definitely bring some essential points when required and do some essential snipes. Scary Monster will take the round. Many crashes mean that it is not a super high pace round. 5th consecutive, however, for SNTR, and ultimately it ended up being a dominant performance. SNTR will not be giving up a single map unless they give up 7 rounds now. Truly not the result we expected, and especially not as decisive it has been, where SNTR took 7-1 map number 2, a map which was highly dependent on consistency, where we really thought that the FKX Blue players can do their best. It ended up not working for them, but that is simply the nature of competition. They still gave it their absolute best, and they still need to be applauded for their incredible efforts. And after this is done, we have other action going as well. And we actually have a new match that we will be added to after the end of this, where in Division 5, TM Master is streaming a POV of his Division 5 match. And we will be looking to see if we can raid him at the end of it. It is Lightning versus Brutal Gears, the match between the 17th and 20th place team in the qualifying events. Number 1 versus number 4 in Division 5. Just to showcase that at all levels of NASCAR, every single team is capable of great things and capable of excellent action. And today, we will be trying to highlight that as well. SNTR looking for a 6th consecutive round, and then only 1 round will separate us from the end of this match. FKX Blue with a promising start, even leading at some point, but after that, it was the SNTR show all the way. It won 1674 by Nez, 11679 by Pinede. Needs to be shouted out. These are almost 30 times. And even if the match went to map number 4, even if FKX completed their comeback on map number 3, I think SNTR's pace on this map is highly impressive. And SNTR overall were really the stronger team on the evening, putting up some excellent times on every single map and really not having much of a weakness, although as I say that, 2 of them, they decide to take separate paths into the air. They will be respawning, and FKX will at least get a consolation round. Pointy with a mistake, but that doesn't matter. Scary Monster, Nino, and Skater continue the round with a solid pace, and Nino and Skater looking to get that round back. Skater with a no drift, Nino with a drift, and Scary Monster with a drift, and Skater actually carrying the most pace of them all as a result of that no drift. As a result of that, no drift, sorry. And they are leading this round, so consolation round looking on the cards for FKX Blue. An all-important round, which would mean that SNTR did not manage to get a single perfect map despite winning all 4 of them. FKX with at least 1 round on each map, so certainly nothing to be ashamed of. Shades of a good performance which eluded them. Scary Monster looking to snipe them both at the end, but I do believe that with Pointy finishing, it will not matter. A respectable 117-1 by Skater, 116.9 by Monster. 9-0 finishing. After that, it will be Pointy finishing, and FKX avert the first map point, they avert the perfect map. They keep us going for a while longer. A essential blue point. FKX blue on the board on map number 4. And hopefully they can string together more than one round, and hopefully there can still be some competition on this final map. We can see more of Hell Pouncer by Bling. A map which truly... If the first map was controlled risk, if the second map was a test of perfection, if the third map was, you know, high speed, action-packed classic, then this one really allows you to risk it for the biscuit and get just tons of speed by being super well practiced and taking this banked right-hander at high speed, navigating between these Ramsteins with a high level of pace. Let's see what happens in this one. 6 players, actually very competitive, headed into lap number 2. I believe that this is the first time in a while we've seen 6 players make no significant mistakes in lap number 1. A competitive round, exactly as we would want to see it, exactly as these players themselves would want. To enjoy the thrill of NASCAR competition every turn until the end. Skater and 9-0 still looking to deny another map point. Pointy still able to possibly deny Penede. Skater risking it for the Ramstein. He will stay alive. Nez overtaking Pointy, but Pointy overtaking Penede. It is still a blue round by the narrowest of margins. Pointy and Penede at the end. Who will reach the finish line fastest? It will be Pointy! Pointy denying Nez. Nez who finishes in last place, and FKX Blue, second consecutive round. Great resurgence at the end. Very, very well done. Scary Monster, great round, but Nez finishing in last place. Pointy with a critical snipe, with a respectable 24 team points on this map. Some promising signs of hope for the player, as he still has another match to play and more learning to do. This time, however, not like last round. 6 players will not reach lap 1 without a mistake, as there are several significant ones who ended up paying the bigger price. Scary Monster is the only one who is out. FKX, a chance for a third consecutive round. Scary Monster retires from the round. Penete and Nez would need to be 1-2, or at least 1-3 to deny this round from FKX Blue. And I believe FKX Blue certainly have the pace to win this. 9-0 not letting Nez get too far away. 9-0 and Skater defending themselves well against Penede. Point even looking to snipe Penede. Let's see how it goes. Pointy now looking for an overtake. He did one clutch snipe in the previous round. He can do another. Banked right-hander, the last risky part of this map. Do they navigate it safely? There no drifting. Pointy with a big overtake. Great performance from the player. And FKX Blue, just one drift separates them from a third consecutive round. And denying still the close for SNTR. 3 consecutive rounds, really looking to hold it down. Nez with a top 30 daddy, but now 9-0 actually put together a 1:16.60, a super clean time. Certainly not out of it yet. FKX showing that today's performance does not mean that you're allowed to underestimate them by any margin. Showcasing SNTR that they might have gotten ahead on map number 2, but they were absolutely capable of going the distance if it went there. 4th map point for SNTR, and this time 3 players consistent together. Pointy will not reach the checkpoint. That is a terrible way to go out, but I also believe that it is the beginning of the end. SNTR would have to make a magnificent throw to not close the match out with 4 map wins on the 4th time of asking, as Nez, Penete, and Scary Monster holding it down. 9-0 and Skater, valiant defense, but it will not amount to much unless 9-0 can make an overtake. 9-0 defiant as ever. not willing to give up until the last, and Skater still within striking distance. SNTR can throw it. SNTR can throw it. Penete, however, looks like he will defend the all-important first place, looking like he will secure the points. Skater might have touched the wall. And Penete finishes the round in what I believe will be enough. It will be. The end has come. And the match concludes SNTR with a convincing victory. A great match of Nascar. Entertaining until the end, but ultimately nothing more to be said. Let's tally up the final scores. As of I believe that will be the correct score. 28-14, but I believe the score not representative of how good FKX were at points. Unfortunately, at the end of it, they did not have the answers that they needed at this time of asking, but they will get a chance to avenge this loss in the small final, and SNTR move on to the Division 3 finals, facing off against the winner of the match between BG and Gigafruits. An excellent night of NASCAR action to open up the Spring NASCAR Cup, but the action for tonight does not end here, as we will actually be jumping in to the Division 5 match between Lightning and Brutal Gears. I apologize. We will actually jump into that match because, respectfully, I think that the action doesn't need to end yet. Let's go to match number 5 and see what our boys are up to. Match number 2. Let's get it going. And we're still on round number 1. We join a match still in its early stages, ladies and gentlemen. Division 5, 17th place Team Lightning versus 20th place Team Brutal Gears. We'll be looking at what these teams have to offer on Vamos de Cars map, as this one actually seems like it's damn close to ending. It is a 6-1 lead for Team Brutal Gears, I believe, if I understand it correctly. However, map point denied at the first time of asking by Team Lightning. Let's see. The stream will continue, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just going to try to recover myself and my voice, and we're going to try to also bring justice to Division 5. Not to be forgotten and never to be underestimated. In all 5 divisions of Spring NASCAR Cup play, we are able to see some great action. And let's see who's on the server for the teams right now. We've got Bellman, Mark X, and TM Master for Team Brutal Gears, with Ezraver, FTC Evangelista, and Jovens for Team Lightning. And so far, Brutal Gears were the weakest team in qualifying, but they actually went up to a 6-2 lead on this map. Very well done. And as we said, a map like this, just because we're playing into Division 5, does not mean that we're not going to see some great mastery. We see Jovens, who is in the lead now. He's 7/10 of a second behind Daddy 1 by the end of lap 1. A perfectly respectable pace when you think about the fact that that is the lowest division in the SNC of offer. All players in this tournament are strong, and it seems that when we joined, Brutal Gears were up to a 6-1 lead, but it is now Lightning who might have the opportunity to deny several map points. Bellman, who is looking to defend Team Brutal Gears and looking to take it away, but Jovens, he is sprinted into the lead, taking advantage of all of these mistakes, and he might just be able to deny everyone at the first time of asking. We can hear the lightning behind us, the horns threatening, but what is this? FTC Angelista has made a mistake. Whose round will it actually be in the end? Ezraver secures the 3rd place, but I think that FTC Evangelista has to finish for them to actually take it. Does he realize? FTC Evangelista has to finish or this is going to be a draw round. No, he doesn't realize. Oh god. Oh, that's... I... What was that? FTC Evangelista just stopped them from getting around by not finishing a one round. That's certainly a way to finish it, but it happens. The thrill of the competition not reduced in the slightest. Let's see what we have to offer. We're back on... I don't even remember. Vamos gave me the pronunciation Gvalcha? I just forgot it. I've been scatterbrained all night. But essentially a map about controlled risk. How willing are you to approach the outside Rammsteins? How willing are you to really risk the line to bring a lot of speed through this flat section that we see TM Master going through right now? As a reminder, TM Master also streaming his own POV. Check that out as well, especially if we end up leaving this match early. So far, however, let's skip ahead further in the round where Bellman and Jovens, two players who seem to be at the top in team points, Bellman with 52, Jovens with 43, FKX with 41, the leader so far. Jovens and Bellman now contesting a strong pace. Look at this, only 8/10 of a second behind Daddy 1. Very clean lines. A lot of pace in hand, especially for Jovens, who is now keeping Bellman behind. But crucially, it's actually behind us that the essential fight is going on because Ezrever... Oh, did I fuck it up again? Okay, we'll watch this round to the end. Bellman overtakes Jovens at the end, who had some sort of loop bug. This might actually be the end of map number 1, as FKX actually finishes in third ahead of Ezrever. And FTC Evangelista didn't convert that round, and on the next time of asking, Brutal Gears convert their map point, and they're going to take a 7-3 lead at the first map of the series. FTC Evangelista, that's unfortunate. Really, really unfortunate, and it brings an end to this with a 7-2 scoreline. And we're just going to have to quickly reset our camera on the next map, and we're headed into Night City by Valmara. And I believe the really interesting thing on this particular map, the one that we'll be looking at thoroughly, is that this map really requires a maximum of precision. This is a map where, as we've said before in the evening tens of times, you really have one perfect line. Daddy 1 to Daddy 30 is half a second. You need to get close to perfection. How will Daddy 5 players handle this challenge? I'm really interested to see what they have to offer, because I do believe that they have a lot to offer. In Division 3, we saw some performances from certain players worthy of Div 1, Div 2. I believe we will see the same, punching above their weight in the following rounds. I'm just going to get out of Spectator, fix my camera, and get right back into Spectator. As we will be taking a look at this map and the features that it has to offer. Night City by Valmar. We will see if any substitutions take place. Bellman will guide us through this map. Starting out with a banked right-hander, where there isn't really much room for improvement or error, into the banked, into a series of 180s flat, right into left, into a sweeping left. Easy to navigate, but if you take the initial flat 180 right wrong, you can really lose a lot of pace. This banked 180 where you might want to take the inside line, and again here you want to take a very inside line, even touching the inside Rammstein for this flat 180 to preserve the most amount of speed heading into lap number 2. So now that you're carrying a lot of speed, you can really risk it here. You can try to go wide like Bellman just did, possibly risking a suboptimal line in the next corner. Really a lot of room for mastery, a lot of room for finesse. But generally, mistakes on this map are not recoverable unless they're matched by another mistake. And that is a good observation. We do have a stream title to switch, which we will be doing shortly. Give me a second. Let's fix this up. Division 5 semifinals. And we will fix that. And now we are here for real. Division 5. Let's take a hard, good look. Warm-up number 2 still remaining, and we will see if any substitutions will take place. On the first map, we saw Jovins, Ezrever, and FTC Evangelista for Team Lightning, while we saw FKX, Bellman, and TM Master for Team Brutal Gears. We will see if they want to keep Bellman, who in my opinion is their strongest player, a player who has proven himself both individually and as part of BG teams in the past alongside players like Rambo. Very strong player, very capable. Unfortunately, wasn't a difference maker for them in the qualifying events, but nothing that can't be fixed with a good performance in the division play. We will see him navigate this map one final time. As I said, this banked 180, lots of room, possibly a wider line with more speed, but then having to still be on time to catch the rest of this corner. A narrow, flat 180. And then the beginning of the lap where, yeah, that's a very inside line from him. Not perhaps the most optimal variety of lines that you can take through this series of flat 180s. A lot of chances for things to go wrong, but a lot of chances also to maintain good speed throughout the turns. Highly interesting how a map which requires as much consistency and precision as this will be played in Division 5, but I do firmly believe that all of the players on the server with us tonight are up to the task. Lightning strikes 7-2 the lead for Brutal Gears, with a strong performance by Bellman and FKX. On map number 1, but Jovins had a very strong response, and maybe he's their secret weapon on map number 2. We're gonna head into the match. I'll take the opportunity to stretch, drink some water, make sure you do the same, especially if you've been watching from the beginning. Thank you all so much for tuning in, both to the Division 3 match before this, but also for staying in such big numbers for this action tonight. We begin our Division 5 match, and unfortunately for us, we already have a couple of players who were caught off guard by the beginning. We even have one player who did not register his first checkpoint. It is unfortunately Jovins, who we lose early on. But still, everything to play for. The round ain't over until it's over. Bellman charging into the lead. Ezrever looking to stop him. FKX providing support from the back as BG, who have taken a big lead on map number 1, are also looking to maintain that lead on map number 2. FTC Evangelista now trying to do something big. TM Master has made a huge mistake. Jovins regains 5th place. Now it is essential for Bellman and FKX to hold their positions, to defend themselves well against a potential comeback from FTC Evangelista behind them. Ezrever retaining that 2nd place. Bellman far and away the strongest player in round number 1. FKX going for a no drift. He's going to lose a lot of speed. Will it be so much that FTC Evangelista can come back? Only 0.2 of a second. If FKX releases again, it might be the essential loss. Ezrever almost crashing in the finish line. But thanks to Bellman, who puts up a strong 1:13.6. Oh, apologies. Reverse. I was not aware that that is in fact his name. I sincerely apologize. We will see. BG won the round by only but 1 point, but only by 1 point, as TM Master made a significant mistake late into the round. He will be looking to do a little bit better. And let's see, round number 2, everybody off to a cleaner start. First round was just a warm-up. Now we're going to see what these players really have to offer. Reverse and Jovins, strong for Team Lightning, Bellman up front, but FKX and TM Master with mistakes, and now Team Lightning have the possibility to surge into the lead. Let's look at Jovins as he's trying to catch up to Bellman, whose pace on map number 1 was unfortunately impossible for almost anyone to match. Look at that. Very, very clean line so far. Good level of consistency and good level of pace being shown in Division 5. Reverse and FTC Evangelista holding down the fort and holding down the essential team points in positions 3 and 4, just looking for a safe finish. Pace doesn't matter so much. You're fighting Not the clock so much as the team that you're against, and with FKX and TM Masters mistakes, Team Lightning, in a team effort, they will reach the finish line safely, far behind Bellman, but strong enough to get a good round going. Bellman 1:13:1, that is almost a Daddy 30 time. Those were the times we were seeing from Nez back in Division 3. A super strong player in Division 5 this time, but do not let that distract you from his individual greatness that we've been seeing throughout the years. Round number 3 begins, even map so far, but remember, BG with a significant lead, 8-3 overall. FTC Evangelista unfortunately touching the ram, not succeeding with the start trick. Lightning strikes in the distance with the horns as Team Lightning are one player down. It falls to Jovins and Reverse to defend themselves against Bellman's superior pace, but this time Jovins said, I can do you one better. I'm not afraid of you, and I can match you. And so far, he's up to the task. Reverse with a big PB so far. Both players very close, but Jovins ultimately suboptimal line means that Bellman has fully caught up heading into lap number 2. Took it a little bit too wide. Jovins now also with a small jump. Bellman regains the lead. TM Master crucially holding on to 5th place makes this a red round. A round for BG. So FKX will need to make a mistake, or Jovins will need to overtake Bellman, which he does. Bellman with a mistake, Bellman with a loop bug. Jovins will be looking to secure that finish, and he will manage to make a heroic happen for his team. Jovins gets the round for Team Lightning by defeating Bellman and putting an end to 2 consecutive round wins. But FTC Evangelista, he can't retire this time, finishes, and Team Lightning are into the lead. Getting back into this match, it's exactly what they need. And Jovins with a super respectable performance. Putting in a 1:13.6, second fastest player on the server. Unfortunately, TM Master still yet to get a clean round. We hope that we can see more from our beloved TM Master. Will it be this round? I can't even find him in the spectator, but he is clean and he is slightly further behind, 0.7 of a second in the opening. Must have made a slight early error. We will see how this unfolds. Bellman flanked by a delegation of Team Lightning, Reverse with some essential midfield points, while Jovins contests the front. They're looking to get a first consecutive round. Reverse, no, that's a huge error. But FKX makes an error. FTC Evangelista's there to punish, and Bellman has made a mistake up front, leaving Jovins to lead, and FTC Evangelista holding 3rd place. It is still a lightning round if Reverse can finish, and if no positions change place at the end. Blue round, thanks to some costly mistakes, and Jovins who has been able to get the better of Bellman. Let's see. Coming into the finish line, Jovins will take a 2nd consecutive round win and improve his personal best. FTC Evangelista securing the all-essential 3rd place. Excellent work so far. Reverse will reach the finish line in time, and it will be a round for Team Lightning, 3 in a row, beginning their comeback. Very well done. Alright, we are headed into yet another round. And we will see TM Master managed to improve to 118, 5 seconds ahead. BG, however, do need him because Bellman is out of this round as well. And without Bellman at the front, Team Lightning has had superior consistency on this map. FTC Evangelista with a small mistake, but no matter, they will retain the lead through Jovins and Reverse's efforts heading into lap number 2. Looking good so far, looking to come back from their deficit on map number 1. BG even leading 6-2 at one point, but now Team Lightning is stringing together several rounds. FTC Evangelista critically holding on to 4th place, securing them against any potential losses. I believe there was a mistake at the front. There was like a small release. That will be reverse. Mark X will come close, but with Jovens at the front, they should still remain close and safe. Mark X looking for a snipe at the end. I believe he'll be able to, and Bellman will snipe. Will this actually change the outcome of the round? No, it won't. Jovens with another 113.6, showcasing superior consistency. With 3 rounds, 113.4, 113.6, 113.6. Great work from the player of Team Lightning, and they get out to a 4-1 lead, and suddenly it is 8-6, I believe. 8-6 the scoreline. And everything to play for Team Lightning is making this match interesting. We will hopefully go the distance. We tune in with Bellman, who needs to get back to the front of the pack because it seems that Team BG cannot really win without him. Mark X and TM Master, unfortunately, not capable of providing the fire support necessary. And once again, they're behind on the round, with FTC Evangelista and Reverse actually providing really good support in 3rd and 4th place. They have a significant advantage over Mark X and TM Master heading into lap number 2. Let's see what happens. Reverse will touch the wall. This might be the way back into the round, depending on Bellman ahead versus Jovens. We'll tune into the battle at the front as FTC Evangelista and Reverse still maintain the essential 3rd and 4th position. Jovens looking, he will touch the inside wall. That is unfortunate. So Bellman looking to secure the round. One corner splits him away from regaining 1st place. In a good time, Jovens with a mistake. He needs to reach the finish line. Doesn't need to get sniped. He will be in the finish line first. And it will be a lightning round, but that was risky at the end of it. Bellman, 114 free. Great time. And Lightning, they are approaching a very dominant map win. And we saw this also. This second map also produced a dominant win in the Division 3 match earlier. Something about this map doesn't seem to let players come back. If they just don't get the map, they will be losing points left and right and center. And we will see what the teams have to offer to us in round number 8. Bellman in the lead again, but Jovens has been his match, doing very, very well. And I need to remind you, Team Lightning, with the #1 ranked team in Division 5 after the qualifying, so they showed a best level of consistency in Division 5, and that best level of consistency is serving them well right now. Even though Bellman is arguably a player much stronger than Division 5, as a team, they're working together and bringing back essential points. Reverse and FTC Evangelista need to be shouted out. They are doing the essential work, supporting Jovens, who's getting 1st or 2nd place most rounds. And they are able to string together rounds as a team. This is what this is all about. Teamwork makes the dream work. FTC Evangelista looking for a snipe. Won't make the snipe, but it is a blue round regardless. And Lightning are on that point. Lightning are on that point after getting blown out in map number 1. Now they're looking to do the exact same, but worse to BG, who seem lost without a second player to support Bellman. TM Master with an unfortunate performance on this map, not able to get a clean round going. Difficult for him. Reverse, however, will touch the Rammstein, so this is an opportunity for BG to deny the map point at the first time of asking. Are they up to that task? Let's find out. TM Master touching the wall. Not helpful, but he can still fight for 5th place. FTC Evangelista, 3rd place is essential. The battle between Jovens and Bellman is going to be more important than ever as well. Jovens took a wide line. He has so much speed. Can he possibly safely take this into lap number 2? He can, but he makes a mistake. Bellman will inherit the position, but Mark X makes a mistake. And now FTC Evangelista and Reverse have taken it over. And it will be a blue round as it stands, because TM Master and Mark X are not able to provide the support from the back. Bellman might take the lead from Jovens, but it doesn't matter. It's not going to be enough. And Lightning are going to go on a 7-round win streak to win map number 2 if they can finish this. That's an incredible comeback from Team Lightning. Do they have it in them? Can they finish it? Bellman will finish, but only barely ahead of Jovins and Lightning. 7 on the trot. They demolish BG on map number 2, and we saw 7-1 earlier in the evening. We see one again. Great work from Team Lightning. Into map number 3, Araxis, the flat map by Truo, with an interesting end section. And the match is close heading into it. This is exactly what we wanted to see. So everything to play for. The flat map, which is super high risk, super high reward. Now the players might be encouraged to take these risks. They might be encouraged to try their luck at the outside Rammsteins. They might be encouraged to try to strike and a decisive blow heading into map number 4, which is the hardest of the pack, and it's going to be particularly hard in Division 5. They really want to make something happen on the next map coming up. Araxis by Truo. As tuning into it, let's spectate and take a look at what is awaiting us on this challenging, super high speed, super high reward map by Truo. Let's also see if we will see any substitutions from the teams. Will BG try to get a new player in, try to get a trump card? Will Lightning swap out one player from their lineup? We open up with these sweeping right and left-hander turns, which can be taken with a lot of speed with optimal release timing. 180, which can be taken with a high exit speed, followed up by another super high-speed corner. All of these can be taken close to the outside Rammstein, followed by a sweeping right into this section where you want to narrow down your lines, not touch these walls, take it safely, get across the finish line, go into a sweeping 180 left, and just try to get a high-speed lap combined with a relatively lesser speed trick section, combining the best of both worlds, risking wherever appropriate, because on this map you can really make a comeback with superb pace down the end. Warm-up number 1, and we see a lot of players being challenged by the map, so we'll see how consistent they can be in the full rounds. As we see Dreamy now on the server, is she going to be playing possibly for BG? Let's see. Warm-up number 2 still ahead of the players. A great chance for them to become accustomed to this map. A great chance for the players to see what awaits them. Try to calm down. Realize that this is a closely fought match. To see whether they can find that extra level on this map. To try to take it one way or the other. And they will be intensely challenged. Maps 3 and 4. Definitely not easy. If map 1 was a bit simpler, you know, if map 3 is mostly flat and mostly understandable to players, a lot of concentration demanded from the players at a point at which they might not have it. Certainly not easy to keep up with the demands of this map pack SNC competition. Punishing for the players, but also giving them the taste of the greatest team competition we have to offer. And an invaluable experience for those trying it out for the very first time. Dreamy indeed practicing on the server. She might be exactly what BG needs to regain the lead, as they have been soundly beaten and Lightning has fully come back from a 5-point deficit to take map 2 decisively and to get into a lead in the series. Navigating that right-hander, a lot of releasing, but safely through. That's all that matters. And map number 3 will be underway. Lightning leading 9-8 against BG, Brutal Gears. And let's see what options Who are the teams leveraging? Team Lightning, no substitutions, FTC Evangelista, Jovens, and Reverse. Markex, Dreamy instead of TM Master, and Bellman. For Team Brutal Gears, looking to stem the bleeding after they got blown out on map number 2. Do they have it in them? Dreamy leading it in, but already not much speed out of the front gate, falling behind the other players, meaning Team Lightning have a good chance to win. Markex and Bellman will have to fight from the front. Bellman in particular, flat map, definitely something we know he has a lot of potential at. He will absolutely need to be winning these rounds on the regular if his team is to have a chance at coming back safely through these tricky section. Well done. Into lap number 2, Jovens and Bellman at the front, the class of the field today. Let's see their battle for the lead as Markex holds 3rd place. Jovens will touch the wall, huge mistake, invokes a respawn. Reverse will inherit the position, but now Dreamy, slow or not, very consistent, exactly what is needed in order to get a BG point on the board. The round all but secured for them, just need to navigate this trick part safely as FTC Evangelista and Jovens make significant mistake. Bellman will navigate it, Markex will navigate it and even overtake him. Reverse snipes at the end, but it won't help because Dreamy is in 4th place. Very well done, slow but safe round to get it on the board for BG. And equalize the match at 9-9. Round number 2 underway. BG, Bellman with super impressive pace, 1:16.5, a respectable time by all means. Round number 2 then. Jovens eliminated early, but he had Bellman's pace. He will need to unlock it. Dreamy again, beginning and last, but good consistency. So if anybody in the front makes a mistake, she is still positioned to capitalize and punish, and that is also part of good team play. Markex, however, with a mistake, Reverse with a smaller mistake. This will give them the advantage, as FTC Evangelista and Jovens have made no mistakes at all and are following Bellman very, very closely. Let's tune into Bellman. 66 hundredths of a second behind Daddy One at the end of lap 1. Reverse with a very wide line, has to release but maintains his safety. Team Lightning certainly in the advantage in this round. FTC Evangelista releasing a lot, Reverse risking a lot, missing the line, and now touching the wall. Markex and Dreamy need to be in a position to punish, or this round will still go into Lightning's hands. Jovens pursues Bellman, looking to capitalize on a potential late mistake. Doesn't take it optimally, but does navigate it safely. That's the essential part. Bellman will finish the round in a 1:16.26, very well done. Jovens behind him, FTC Evangelista behind that, Reverse. 3 blue players and Team Lightning immediately respond. 10-9 the overall score. Round number 3. Everything to play for in this match. Bellman still the class of the field, but Lightning with superior consistency puts the point on the board, and Dreamy's lack of pace, unfortunately, punishable by players like FTC Evangelista and Reverse. Markex now not supporting, and now Bellman makes a mistake. FTC Evangelista will make a small mistake. Markex and Bellman to punish. Dreamy even to punish. Consistency from Dreamy still perfectly fine despite a slow pace. But Jovens is in the lead with only Markex to follow. Bellman, that is a thunderous pace throughout the last part of the lap. Bellman looking to punish, not looking to give anything up. Does he have what he needs to bring it together? Bellman on the attack, Jovens in the defense, Reverse behind him defending against Markex. The two essential battles for the fate of this round. Markex now barely overtaking Reverse. Bellman still attempting to catch Jovens off guard. Jovens releases. Bellman is approaching. Blood in the water. Risky segment. How much do either player dare to risk? Jovens retains a lot of speed, and Markex makes a mistake, and Team Lightning will secure the round. Unless Reverse has made a big mistake, but FTC Evangelista should still secure this round for them in the back. critical snipe, and Jovens with an excellent defense puts Lightning into the lead. Into round number 4. Overall match score 11-9 now in favor of Team Lightning, whose consistency has been unmatchable despite Belmont's heroics. And we will see if that can continue. Jovens in the lead, Belmont taking over. Dreamy further behind. It's gonna look like more of the same heading into this next round. Who can strike the decisive blow? Will tune into reverse in the back. He's a bit further behind, but is within striking distance of Mark X, while FTC Evangelista and Jovens hold down the front. He's going to be sliding out. Hello, Ness. Nice to have you, and congratulations on your passage into the Division 3 final and on your personal performance. Moving, however, back into the performance of the players at hand. Jovens and FTC Evangelista holding on to critical positions. They can still win this round the way things are. Belmont not enough to hold it back. Mark X with a mistake now. I'm afraid that's going to seal their fate. And Lightning, who have shown superior team consistency throughout the night, after a big lead for BG on map number 1, maps number 2 and 3 are looking solidly in the favor of Team Lightning, who now break out to a 3-1 lead on this map and a 12-9 lead overall. Moving on, we will see if BG can string a comeback. Dreamy and Mark X, unfortunately, I fear that they've been outclassed in terms of consistency on this map. The pace simply not there, but now FTC Evangelista's critical mistake, which requires a respawn, opens up an opportunity for BG to strike back and keep this map close. Can they seize the day? Belmont being denied by Jovens is the essential component. Jovens has to stick together with reverse and they have to mount a defense. But now Jovens had to release a lot and Belmont will have a healthy lead heading into map number 2. Mark X still within striking distance. FTC Evangelista critically not in striking distance of Dreamy. Safe but slow is critical for BG now because Belmont holds the lead and thus they hold around. Reverse, big release. That's going to give Mark X a striking opportunity. Reverse, navigating it. Jovens and Belmont, the battle at the front. This is essential. Mark X has made a mistake, but Jovens has made a mistake. And what could have been a lightning round due to that huge mistake is now again turning into a BG round because Dreamy might be able to paradoxically finish in third just by not crashing. And that mistake by Jovens ends up costing them the round by 1 point. Mark X's throw would have marked a loss for Team BG otherwise. Jovens acknowledges it himself, but it is fine. They still maintain the overall lead. They still have the better overall consistency. They just have to show it. Belmont leads the map, 19 points. Jovens in second with 20. Supported well by Reverse and FTC Evangelista, 17 and 16. Dreamy and Mark X unfortunately struggling a bit more on this map. Now Reverse with a mistake. BG could equalize fully. Mark X with a mistake. We will see how this round unfolds. Now FTC Evangelista and Jovens who have to chase Belmont and put pressure onto the leader and star of Brutal Gears. Do they have it in them? FTC Evangelista, wall touch. He doesn't have it in him, and Mark X and Dreamy are going to be hounding him in a couple of seconds. Reverse now has to mount a comeback. Jovens is not competing with Belmont up front, meaning that it is in the back where this round will be decided. Can Reverse make a snipe? Can FTC Evangelista make a snipe? It seems like Reverse has made even one more significant mistake, but Belmont is gone. Belmont is gone. Belmont is nowhere to be seen, and FTC Evangelista inherit second place and Lightning inherit a round. They just have to finish it. Critical mistakes from Team BG are going to send a free round to the way of Team Lightning, who safely navigate the finish line. FTC Evangelista is not in a rush. Not the fastest round, but it doesn't matter because it is blue. Lightning 4-2. Let's head on with this match where Lightning are now in quite a decisive lead in terms of rounds. If Lightning win this map decisively, it is almost assured that they have a match-winning lead heading into map number 4, so let's see if that's something that they can do. Jovens and FTC Evangelista have packed a dangerous 1-2 punch on this map, and now they're leading. Bellman in the back. Bellman has to mount the offense if he wants to catch up. But FTC Evangelista making a lot of pace loss, reverse touching the wall, and Markex is capitalizing, and now Jovens is actually in the position where he has to defend, where the round is lost. Bellman on the attack, Jovens on the defense. Who will win? We've seen this scenario before, and the first time of asking, Jovens defended. Bellman risking everything, but it will lose him pace. He's navigating these outside Rammsteins. He's leaving literally no space for himself. Risking absolutely everything. Going on the outside Rammstein again, but he's not gaining any pace on Jovens. Jovens safe and sound. Controlled, stable lines, just needs to finish this trick segment. Bellman has more pace, but he has the wrong entry to the final turn, and he will not be able to catch up. Jovens first into the finish line. Mark X retires. FTC Evangelista and reverse secure a lightning round. Lightning, they're breaking out to a very big lead at this point. It is, let me try to get the score right. It is 14-10 in team points in the favor of Team Lightning. So a big lead beginning to accumulate for Lightning's consistent performances on maps 2 and 3. A 7-1 win on map 2, just like we saw in Division 3 earlier tonight, now followed up by a very good map 3 as well, but they cannot let BG get some free points now. BG, they want to get some rounds to keep it close heading into map 4, because map 4 is super difficult, and there's no telling what will happen on it. Lightning looks to capitalize and finish what they started. Which team will prevail? Bellman in the lead. Behind him, Jovens FTC Evangelista ever chasing. Reverse made a significant mistake. He is now last, but he is within striking distance of Dreamy and Mark X. Unfortunately, the release delays his comeback. Dreamy with a lot of releases, easily overtaken by Reverse, and now Jovens is overtaking Bellman in the front, so it's again falling apart. Markex and Dreamy, 5th and 6th in team points, not able to provide the support to Bellman. Oh, but now Jovens with a mistake. He will, however, critically stabilize, and that stability might just be enough to salvage the round. Bellman will take the lead, but if they finish as it is, it's still good enough. Will they, however, finish as it is? Bellman into the finish line, followed by Jovens. What happens behind them? Let's see. Markex into the finish line. Dreamy or Reverse? It is Reverse for an 11-10 round win, and map point Lightning. Map point for the Lightning lads, who have gotten thrashed on map number 1. BG won that 7-2, but then Lightning won the second map 7-1 and is now looking at 5 map points against Brutal Gears, solidifying their status as favorites because they were quite a bit stronger in the qualifying events. Definitely a strong team for Division 5 standards. We're seeing good consistency and good team play out of them. Not to be underestimated by any means. Bellman in the lead, but again, Dreamy, Markex not to be found, and Lightning with the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th players in team points, securing round after round after round. A true team effort. Immaculate team play from Team Lightning, and they are 1 lap away from sealing this map and putting themselves 1 foot into the Division 5 finals. 1 lap remains. Strong pace from Jovens, who will touch the wall. What's happening behind him? Will that wall touch be critical? FTC Evangelista wall touch. Is Dreamy in a position to punish? It doesn't seem like she is. That's a bitter thing. 3 mistakes, but not a single other BG member can punish, and unfortunately, the end has come. Bellman with his personal best, 1:15.86, almost at any time, but nothing to be said. Lightning take the map 7-2. Lightning heading into the fourth map. Hellpouncer by Bling, the hardest map. They are poised to punch their ticket into the Division 5 finals. BG have to win the last map as hard as they won the first map to even force a decider. Are they capable of it? Can the Brutal Gears find a brutal onslaught to unleash against Team Lightning? Let's see. Map number 4, Bling by Hellpouncer, possibly the hardest in the map pack. A lot of elements that can really trick players, a lot of opportunities to risk. Yet to be seen, however, which team will thrive in this environment, which team will gain advantage in this environment. I believe that the VODs should be on. I would be surprised if they were off. Hopefully I'm recording this. I believe they should be on. Well, heading into the warm-up on this final map, let's see which players are driving. We have Bellman. Bellman navigating the tricky opening of this map, heading into probably the most dangerous corner of them all, not counting the finish. He won't even make it there. We're gonna have to watch a different player. Dreamy, who decides to take it with a no drift, but essentially this banked right-hander. Opportunity for a lot of risk with the outside and inside Rammsteins. And finally this interesting 180, which can be taken with a drift, a no drift, partial drift. Lots of opportunities for technique to make all the difference in this map. And it's interesting to see in Division 3, obviously we saw that the players kind of fell apart by the fourth map in terms of, especially those which played all the maps, so yet to be seen if the players can put up a consistent performance on this map or if it's just simply too hard. We are, however, hoping for the best, and BG need to show their best because they need to win 7-1 at least to force a decider, or 7-0 to win the match. Any other score and Team Lightning are through. Just 2 rounds separate Team Lightning from the Division 5 finals, which will relegate Brutal Gears to the Division 5 small final, which they will contest against the loser of Team FKX Red versus NRT, the other Division 5 matchup. Actually, it's a good time to check if my VODs have been accidentally turned off or something. Now that you mention it, I'm a bit nervous. Now that you mention it, I'm a bit nervous. Now that you mention it, I'm a bit nervous. Why is this not recording? What? Why is this not recording? What? Why is this? Apologies. Oh, it is recorded. It is simply unpublished. I apologize for the confusion. Sincerest apologies. We are headed back into this. The recording will indeed be available later on today. Well, we need to see what's going to be happening on this map. So, as a reminder to all of you, this is the Division 5 match, semi-final between Team Lightning and Team BG. Brutal Gears, 17th and 20th place match. BG started with a dominant 7-2 map 1, but then proceeded to get blown out 7-1 and 7-2 on maps 2 and 3 by Team Lightning's consistent team performances. It is now 16-10. BG have to win the match. BG have to win 7-0 in the final. To equalize and get a decider map, they have to win 7-1. 2 rounds for Team Lightning seals the deal. And it begins the final map of the evening. Hellpouncer by Bling. As yeah, the lineups for this map. Team Lightning sticking with FTC Evangelista, Jovins, and Reverse. TM Master subs back in place of Markex, and Dreamy and Bellman are going to fulfill the BG lineup. Kev, thank you so much. I appreciate you a lot, man. Thank you so much for gifting. On to the round, however, because we are being all given a gift, the gift of NASCAR competition. And right now that NASCAR competition is looking quite balanced, actually. Heading into lap number 1, it is only Jovins who is driven clean. Bellman, Reverse, TM Master, FTC Evangelista, Dreamy in last place so far. Jovins, however, in a secure lead. Bellman should not be able to catch up unless there is a significant mistake. Let's see what ends up happening. Bellman in second place, but behind him the battle rages on, but it seems that Lightning is winning everything. Reverse, huge mistake. BG with an opportunity. BG with an opportunity. FTC Evangelista still has to finish. He won't finish either, and BG, from nothing, from nowhere, BG are gifted the round by mistakes by FTC Evangelista and Reverse. And they are beginning their comeback. The comeback which they need to make, because as a reminder, if Lightning win even 2 rounds, we're done here. BG have to win 7-0 to win the match, and 7-1 we go to a decider, which will be a replay of map number 1, on which I will remind you BG won dominantly. So if BG can make a comeback, it is possible for the most unlikely occurrence to happen. Oh, and a mistake from, I believe that was TM Master. 3 Lightning players now poised to strike. Let's see if they can make it happen. Jovins in the lead, but who follows him? Have there been mistakes? There haven't been any big ones except TM Master. Bellman takes the lead from Jovins, but Lightning has a big delegation. Bellman's made a mistake. Thankfully, he doesn't have to respawn, but it's now 3 Lightning players in the lead. Dreamy giving chase, but she doesn't have much to give. And Lightning can deny BG the possibility of outright winning. They will secure at least a decider map if they win this round. All they have to do is finish, as BG are not in a position to capitalize with TM Master 20 seconds behind. Devastating mistakes. All they have to do is finish, and they have to realize that, play with the maturity and stability of a team that's leading Division 5. Lap number 2 comes to a close. Bellman nowhere to be found. Bellman retires, and we will at least have a decider. Match point Lightning. And an ace for Team Lightning. Very, very well done. Not the cleanest round, but what does it matter if 2 players aren't even finishing? You already saw this map wreak havoc in Division 3, and in Division 5 it seems that it is outright lethal. The first of 6 possible match points for Team Lightning. Do they have what it takes? After starting 2-7 on the first map, Bellman and BG looked like they were gonna take it over. After SNTR beat FKX Blue earlier in the night, it seemed like the favorites, the higher placed qualifying teams, were gonna lose, but Lightning has clawed it back. But now BG are given a free round. Devastating mistakes from Reverse and FTC Evangelista. Nobody competing at the front. BG have a free round. The first of 6 match points is completely fouled. Bellman in the lead, Jovin's the only man competing, but his teammates are less than nowhere. Utterly incapable of competing. In this round at least, and the lightning consistency which powered our comeback definitely reduced on map number 4. They have to keep it together. This round comes to a close. The drivers will safely finish. No need to risk. 4 seconds behind the first, 5 seconds, 6 seconds behind anyone. It doesn't matter. Points are points. That's the beauty of the SNC. And BG get the first of 6 points they need to get in a row to force a decider. Red round, BG need to win 5 more to force a decider. Do they have it in them, or will Lightning manage to secure at least 1 more? The 1 more which will win the match. Let's take a good look. Round number 3. Will Reverse and FTC Evangelista realize that consistency is key? They already have the pace, they just have to be finishing rounds, so I expect them to have the maturity to realize that. FTC Evangelista is safely through, but he will be in last place, but he will be able to compete later. Reverse and Jovins now fighting the good fight for Team Lightning. FTC Evangelista bank turn, but he will be overtaken by Dreamy Snowdrift, but he will, however, take over TM Master. Reverse falling behind and Bellman ahead of Jovins. So far, so good for Team BG. FTC Evangelista will really be trying to wreak havoc in the backline because I think Bellman is just too far ahead. But no, FTC Evangelista, devastating error. Did anybody else make it? No, Dreamy and TM Master far ahead now. Jovin's not competitive. BG will take the round thanks to FTC Evangelista's huge error. And the comeback is on the cards. They edge ever closer to it. Reverse will maintain 3rd place. 2nd and 3rd would have been enough to win, but with their 3rd player making a devastating mistake in lap number 2, Bellman will secure it in a time close to Daddy 30. Very well done. Hard carry continuing. And BG win another round. Gifted to them, really, by Lightning. Everything to play for. Everything to play for, and BG are 4 rounds away from forcing a decider. And as a reminder, on the decider, that will be the first map by Vamosdikar, on which BG won decisive. Lightning only need 1 round, and they can avoid that grim fate. And if Reverse and FTC Evangelista show the consistency that they showed on the previous maps, it shouldn't be a problem. Shouldn't, but we've seen worse. We've seen it in the small final of the SNC 2024. A 7-0 on the last map to send it to a decider. Or even, I believe it was even the grand final between, what was it at the time even? Power Rangers and Penny Blue. Although memory doesn't necessarily serve, we've seen bigger comebacks than this, so BG need to keep their hopes up, but at this point they're praying for an error. Reverse and FTC Evangelista holding the line against TM Master. Essential, and now Bellman overtaken by Jovins. This might be end of the line. Dreamy nowhere to be found. Bellman hoping for Jovins to make a mistake. FTC Evangelista and Reverse. They are making it across, and Lightning strikes at the end. Bellman with a snipe. Will that be enough? Will that make the difference? Time will tell. Critical point secured, but Reverse, if he finishes ahead, it'll be the end. Will Reverse finish the round? Where's Reverse? 4 seconds. And he does. And we're done. Lightning, by the narrowest of margins, get the 2nd round they needed and secure the match win against Brutal Gears. After losing the first map heavily, they complete a huge comeback, dominating on the next 2 maps. securing the win for themselves. They will proceed to the Division 5 Grand Final against the winner of FKX Red versus NRT. The loser of this match will proceed into the BG will go into the small final versus the loser of that match. We still, however, have some action to play. We have some pride to regain for Brutal Gears, for them to win a second map and prove that it could have been close. And we will see if they have the capability to do that. Now that the match is over, they should still absolutely showcase their best selves. Bellman, plenty of pace in hand, flanked by Jovins and FTC Evangelista, but Reverse won't even finish the round at this rate, giving them a winning opportunity, which he should be able to convert. FTC Evangelista is nowhere. This is a BG round. Makes a critical error at the end. And Bellman will slowly but surely reach the finish line with yet another first place, a dominating evening for him, but not enough to get his team across the line. In a 3 versus 3 format, individual carries are not enough. The team level needs to be present or nothing will occur. Red round, BG with a consolation prize. And let's see, can BG make it the closest possible score and win 7-2? Will this match be decided literally by one round, or will it in fact be a relatively comfortable Lightning win? Time will tell. Round number 7 is in progress. And Lightning are looking very good with Reverse and Jovins ahead. FTC Evangelista with a good backup position, with TM Master making a significant mistake. But Bellman has come back from worse. Reverse will touch the wall. That'll also send him behind Dreamy, I believe. So BG with a fighting chance, but Bellman has to mount the attack against Jovins. Otherwise, nothing to be done. TM Master, sadly, I don't think he'll be finishing. So it's an uphill battle as they will only have 2 players worth of points at the end of this one. TM Master won't be finishing, no. And Reverse comes back ahead of Bellman. FTC Evangelista still in 4th. Lightning will secure their 3rd round. And deny BG the possibility of losing only by 1. So we won't have the closest possible result, sadly. Will it even be an ace? Can FTC Evangelista overtake Bellman at the end? No, he can't. Jovins and Reverse in the first 2 positions. For a 3rd point on this map for Team Lightning. Players certainly tired by this point, but they need to give their best. They need to keep up the consistency to secure points on a map as difficult as this. Let's see if they have the capability. Round number 8. BG looking to win a second map. Lightning looking to secure a dominant scoreline. Good consistency so far, but only 2 players with competitive time. Jovins and Bellman. Oh my good lord. Bellman even retires. Oh no. Oh, that's not looking good. That is a blunder. A blunder which will undoubtedly cost BG the round, as Dreamy and TM Master have not had the best of days, especially TM Master struggled a lot to get team points and pace. Still, a valiant effort. Not to be discredited in the slightest, but very difficult for them to win. But now Reverse also looks like he's not going to finish. Is Reverse still on lap 1? Yeah, this round didn't exactly go well for the players. But FTC Evangelista and Jovins are holding on to the points positions, and even if it is just 4 players finishing the round, 2 of them will be Lightning players in the first 2 positions, barring a mistake by FTC Evangelista. Jovins in the finish line, stable time. flanked by his teammate, and it is a blue round, equalizing the score at 4-4. Good God. It seems like only 3 players have finished the round, so map definitely very challenging, most challenging in the map pack, taking its toll on the players. But they have to press on to the finish line and see who will win. Map number 4. Will BG at least get an even score in maps, or will Lightning win a third consecutive map and take away a quite dominant finish? Jovens and Bellman out through the beginning. Hello, Giga. The match is unfortunately already over. Lightning have a 20-14 scoreline. Round number 9 unfolding ahead of us, and it feels like we've seen this round so many times tonight, where TM Master and Dreamy are far behind, FTC Evangelista and Reverse winning the battle at the bottom of the field, while Jovens is at least close enough to Bellman, where he's getting that second place reliably, if not the first place. And Lightning have really had the superior consistency as a team. They've played as a team super well, with great awareness for the safety needed to drive these maps. BG, they've had Bellman to hard carry them, that's for sure, but unfortunately that's not enough for them to win the match. And we see another Lightning round. They are now on 3 in a row, and they take back the lead of the map from BG. Their hopes of a comeback early on in this map, when Lightning were struggling and not finishing, snuffed out rapidly, and Lightning now near the map win. Their third consecutive map win, because after their loss on the first map, they have looked unstoppable. And BG have not really had an answer. Into round number 10. If Lightning are able to make it 4 in a row, they will be on map point. Jovens risking and Jovens not profiting. That's a respawn, which means this round is heavily BG favored, so they'll equalize at 5-5 unless they make significant mistakes. Reverse helps them out with another mistake, and BG have this round on a silver platter. Not too much to add. TM Master and Dreamy, say what you will about their pace, but they have been consistent. FTC Evangelista with a mistake. BG might get a consolation ace, depending on the finish, and rebuild their hopes for a possible second map win, as they still very much are in the running for that at least, and give themselves some much needed confidence ahead of the small final of Division 5. Nobody to be found. FTC Evangelista not really able to put a dent into Dreamy and TM Master. Bellman far ahead. Finishes the round safely. The ace denied, but the round firmly in favor of Brutal Gears. And 5-5. 4 rounds left in the match. Noah test the speed drift before the loop. I don't think we actually even saw that in Division 3, but definitely happy to be corrected, as the action of the evening has kind of started blurring together at this point, almost 3 hours into the night. Moving in to round number 11, only 4 rounds remain. Reverse with a significant mistake. That's going to give BG a big leg up in this round. And Jovens, however, does lead from Bellman, and FTC Evangelista does lead from Dreamy and TM Master, so if Reverse can at least finish. Bellman with a huge mistake. This might just be what they need to take it back. Is Reverse making it? He's taking so long to get back into the map, but if they take the first 2 places, it won't matter. And Lightning's gonna basically win a 2 versus 3 round. I don't even know if Reverse has the time to finish it, so FTC Evangelista needs to do a critical defense of the second place. Jovin's far ahead. Jovins is 54 hundredths of a second from Daddy 1. He has blazing pace. Division 5, huge times coming up. However, the battle for second is the critical one. Can Dreamy hope to catch a mistake from FTC Evangelista? Or maybe even catch him off pace? Doesn't look like it. Only one corner separates them, and then Lightning will be on map point. Jovins with a huge time. We saw these times in Division 3. Very well done by him. Strong player performance. Reverse won't finish, but the round is blue. Lightning strikes one final time. Map point for a possible 3 map wins in a row for Lightning. Not to forget, they made an incredible comeback after really getting blown out of the water on map number 1. Team effort and unbreakable spirit, that's what's required to succeed in the SNC. And Team Lightning has shown a bit of both today, but BG as well needs to be shouted out. Bellman with a great individual performance, rest of the players great fighting spirit as well. Not giving up just because they lost it, doing very well on map number 4, putting together the strongest rounds that they can. Unfortunately, we've lost TM Master. 3 Lightning players make it to the initial. This might just be the final round, and the map point might be converted at the first time of asking, unless Dreamy and Bellman can have something to say about it. Reverse and FTC Evangelista navigating safely. Dreamy playing safe, but a bit too safe. Will catch up to FTC Evangelista, never say never. Bellman and Jovins in the front, fighting for what must have been their 15th battle of the day. They've been leading the front of the pack, Jovins in particular, 57 team points on this map, doing such an amazing job of keeping it together and being a huge carry for Team Lightning. What a player performance. Really cannot be understated. This guy is the real deal. Let's see what's happening behind him though. Bellman with a small auto drift. Can Jovins make this corner safely? Yes, he can. Bellman, however, with a lot of risk. He's carrying a lot of speed. Is it even possible for him to make a comeback? Jovins is releasing. Bellman's going full speed. Jovins has touched. And Bellman will take first place with a snipe at the end. But will it matter? TM Master nowhere to be found, and Reverse and FTC Evangelista seal it. 7-5 the final map. Lightning win the match. They go to the Division 5 final. BG started strong but couldn't convert. Still an admirable performance. And that was, if I'm not wrong, yes, I believe that's correct. 23-15, a closely contested match, but the favorites in Team Lightning, the 17th qualifying team, do manage to walk away with the win. And we will see more of Division 5 later. We will also see which team will join which respective team in this match in the small and grand final of Division 5, which also brings tonight's action to an end. A long evening with almost 3 hours of non-stop action. First, we saw a great match between SNTR and FKX Blue, where SNTR pulled a rabbit out of the hat and went on a dominant lead in maps 2 and 3 to catch FKX off guard and blow them out of the water almost. Followed by a great Division 5 match where Lightning found the team consistency that got them far. The first day of the SNC playoffs is over. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I have. Thank you all so very much for tuning in such big numbers. Thank you all for the follows. Thank you to Kev for gifting a sub. I didn't do these matches justice. I'm well aware of that, especially solo. It got the score wrong 5 times in the SNTR match, but I sincerely hope you were able to enjoy tonight's amazing NASCAR action brought to us by the 4 teams we saw: SNTR, FKX Blue, Lightning, and Brutal Gears. Remember the name, you'll see them again. And I will also be seeing you later tomorrow. Do not forget, we have a Division 1 match on our hands the match everybody's been waiting for, TFF versus Fox, streamed by Rayma and Stakey, yours truly. We will also have Yuki's POV stream, so several matches going on tomorrow. Be sure not to miss them. The SNC continues in full force. Tomorrow at, I'm just going to check the date, check the time. Continues tomorrow at 8 p.m. CST with TFF versus Fox, Bros versus Arrow, 8:30 CST, FKX IDT versus Fresh Fruit at 8:30 as well, FKX SVK versus CDSF at 9 p.m., FKX Red versus NRT at 9 p.m., and XOXO versus Ultimate Fruit at 9:30. Almost half the matches we're playing in total. They will be brought to you by all the players capable of streaming. Thank you all once again. Have a wonderful night. And until next time, it has been a pleasure. Goodbye.